Your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. I would like to say welcome to Riding with Ghost Rider, Cruising with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday I said yesterday I said we was on episode number 70. I got a little excited, saying got a little ahead of myself. Actually, today is episode number 70, man. Cruising with Ghost Rider, man. I mean, you think to do a whole live stream in the car, you know what I'm saying, in the vehicle, man, that's what I've been doing, man. That's what we've been doing with Ghost Rider. You know what I'm saying? I got in a situation, if you guys don't know, y'all new to the channel, this is the first time you watching this. I got in a situation July 15th of last year, you know what I'm saying, where I was going to face retaliation from the city that I was from because I decided to file a lawsuit to pursue justice, excuse me. During the course of that time, you know what I'm saying, I sued some more cities, some more things were going on. So I just got caught up in this situation for a short amount of time. And that's what I'm in, man. So, you know, I was doing the content. I decided to keep going with the content, just go ahead and do a cruising with Ghost Rider. And that's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? I like to get 100 episodes done if I can. You know, the Tax the Rich tour, I'm going to start that probably around the middle of April. You know what I'm saying? So just about 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks. I got a big case, a multi-million-dollar case that I'm going to work on for a client. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get that done by the first week of April. And after that, we'll start the Tax the Rich tour. So Cruising with Ghost Rider, guys, this is officially episode number 70. So just imagine, I'm not going to stream every day, but we need 30 more episodes or get close to having 30 more episodes. And then we're going to kick off the Tax the Rich tour. As you guys come into the stream, I ask that y'all double tap the video for me. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. I'm going to give a few more seconds for some more people to come into the chat, y'all. And then we'll just get started in just a minute. Guys, as y'all come in, I see you down there. Good morning, Flying. Nah, I ain't never seen no cartoon movies, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch cartoons, man. I try to stay in reality for the most part, you know? But yeah, man, I think the animation, basically, we see that a lot of with artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? In all facets of our society, definitely. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to start out talking about a war, man. I'm going to start talking about this war, man. You know what I'm saying? What's going on right now in the war, if you guys haven't been keeping up, is that the United States has hit a majority, if not all, of the military targets that is set out to hit in Iran. You know what I'm saying? The Navy, the Air Force, infrastructure, military, killing all the military generals and the military leadership. You know what I'm saying? So after the Americans have killed the Iranian leadership, it's like, what's next? What's next is the Strait of Hormuz. So the Strait of Hormuz, if you guys don't know, it's over 20% of the oil in the world passes through the strait, okay? So the Iranians, which the Americans should have been prepared for this. That's a ginormous error. I believe President Trump should have been prepared for this. The Americans should have been prepared, you know, and to deal with the Strait of Hormuz and the problems that it's going to cause, like oil being higher, like gas being higher. You know what I'm saying? I said this so many times, man. Gas was $2.77 up here in Metro New York. $2.77, 30 miles north of the cities. It's $2.67 right now. You know what I'm saying? It's went up over 90 cents. And that's mainly because of that little bitty strait of Hormuz right off the coast of Iran. It's a reason why so many presidents decided not to attack Iran, because of this strait. Now, America's in a situation to where even if America is able, in which America could escort tankers, if the tankers want to take the risk of going through the strait, even if America could escort the tankers, I'm saying the tankers or the battleships, the soldiers, no one's safe, still not safe. America's not going to be able to secure the strait. So if you've accomplished all of your original military objectives and you're looking at the strait, now to me, it's about retaliation. Now it's about trying to prove that you're bigger and stronger, trying to prove that you can control. That's what it's all about. I'm saying if the goal is to destroy the military targets, to keep them from projecting power outside of their borders, you've admitted that you've done that. That's why we hear President Trump say, hey, we won, declare victory. So now you sit back and you say, hey, we probably shouldn't have went in at this time, or we should have had a coalition. Or, you know how after you do something and you didn't do it right the first time, you start seeing the things that you could have done to correct those mistakes. So that's where America is. And I mean, they're looking at the Strait of Hormuz. They're saying that Iran has control of it. But I mean, we're going to look real bad for coming in here and making this effort to attack Iran. That's number one on America's part. On Israel's part, Israel's the other part of this war. On Israel's part, they have a lot more things that they want to do in Iran than they've already done. Israel really, this is their war. It's completely their war. They have a lot more they want to do. So President Trump is in a situation very hard for him to figure out where he needs to go. But I'm saying from here, I could tell you, as far as America's concerned, President Trump, the military leaders, they probably already letting them know you're not going to be able to control the Strait of Hormuz. So President Trump right now is at a real inflection point. Yeah, they're not going to be able to control the strait. That's point blank, period. You're not going to listen. You could go. Let me explain something to you. Right now, the Americans can send those Marines to, I'm talking about the on either side of the lanes of the strait. Either side. You talking about those straits those lanes are about 2 to 4 miles, one ship in, one ship out. It's very narrow. Right off the coast of Iran. Say you're on Iranian territory, Iranian soil with Marines, and you got those Marines, they secured that strip. And I'm saying they're pointed looking in towards the strait. And say on the opposite side, whichever country's on the opposite side of the Gulf, say you got troops there too. So you got troops on both sides of the strait. You got drones ahead. You flying drones. You got the full picture, full intelligence. You got the full military, and you escorting the ship. You escorting the ship through the strait with a battleship. All the Iranians got to do from Tehran is send a drone at you, bruh. Send 3 drones at you. Send 5 rockets at you. Send a ballistic missile at you. Look, you only in a 4-mile radius. The whole everybody in the world, they'll be broadcasting it on. Hey, look, we have the American battleships trying to escort the South Koreans through the oil tanker through the strait. It's gonna be on CNN. Everybody gonna know you, bruh. And it's only 4 miles that they got to hit. Drone, ballistic missile, rocket. Bro, you go through that strait, I'm telling you, the Iranians, they're going to be aiming for you. You're not going to be able to control the strait. Listen, if you can control it, you cannot make it safe for oil tankers to navigate through the strait. You cannot do that, point blank, period. America's not going to be able to do that. If they have not seen it now, they're going to see it. So here's the thing. Your choice is you're going to fight a war, a regime war, Iraq 2, Afghanistan. You're going to fight a regime war, a never-ending war, or Your other choice is to make a deal, diplomacy. It's only one or two options. There's not a third option. America has one. President Trump has one or two options at this point where he's at looking at this war. I don't care what America's doing. They've already destroyed what they could destroy to get home, to be through with it, to start diplomacy, to make a deal, because that's what they need to do. So you got one or two choices if you American in this situation, in this war. You're going to fight a forever war to change the regime in Iran, where you're going to suffer a lot of casualties. You're going to suffer a lot of money being lost. I mean, we first went into Afghanistan. We first went into Iraq, too. We didn't just suffer a whole lot of casualties. It's going to take time, but thousands of Americans going to die. The price of gas could get up to $5 a gallon. This is a different conflict than what's in Afghanistan. This is a completely different conflict than what was in Iraq. That's what America is looking at. That's what America will face if they attempt to change the regime in Iran and get bogged down in a regime war. I'm saying, in my opinion, the best thing America can do from this point where they're at right now is to make a deal. That's the safest, that's the best thing that we can do. You know what I'm saying? That being said, guys, if you guys have not liked the video, I ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Guys, artificial intelligence being used on a battlefield. What you guys think about using artificial intelligence in the war? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jump down in the comments a little bit with you guys early before I start playing the audio. What you guys think about using artificial intelligence in the war? Somebody says sometimes you in a dark place, you feel like you've been buried. You soon realize that you've been planted, attacked today. Man, I don't know what that means, bro. I have no idea what that means. If you are in a dark place and that's how you feel, I feel very sorry for you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like maybe President Trump feels like that. Maybe President Trump feels like he's in a dark place and he's been planted. Because I'm saying, I don't see how you can get a victory or you can claim any sort of victory. There's nothing but losses for America from this point forward. America lose. The only way America wins is by making a deal with Iran, diplomacy. If America does not make a deal, regime change or forever war is a loss. You cannot control the Straits, so if you back out right now, it might look like you are soft or weak. That's what I'm saying. So if I don't know what you're talking about, somebody feel like they've been planted or in a dark place and feel like, I have no idea what you mean about that. You know what I'm saying? If you talking like that, bro, it's probably drugs you on. You probably just need to get off the drugs. Hey, you need to get off the drugs. But if there was a way that you can feel like you in a dark place and you feel like you've been planted or whatever that means, I'm not sure what that means. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that means, I feel like President Trump might feel like he's in that place right now. Real talk in this war. And I told you guys why. It's only two options. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. You got two options. You're going to try regime change and you're going to get bogged down in a forever war, or you're going to make a deal, which means the Strait of Hormuz will never be straight, will never be, look, the Iranians, I think it was the foreign minister, he said it's not going to go back to where it was pre-war. It's never going to go back to that place, ever. Never. Not without a deal. There's the only way out of that without a deal. You know what I'm saying? Buck says we can control the Straits easily if we choose to. You can control the Straits. You can't stop the Iranians from launching a drone or a rocket or a missile. And the Straits, every ship you send through the Strait of Hormuz, I promise you, the Iranians will target you heavily, repeatedly, nonstop. It's only 4 or 5 mile radius as you traveling through that strait in the narrowest points that they got to shoot at. So I'm trying to figure out how are you going to navigate through the strait. Like I said, you can control both sides of the strait if you want to. There's nothing wrong. I'm not denying that America cannot control both sides of the land of the strait. They can't control the air. They can control everything. All I'm saying is when you try to pull a tanker or we try to escort a tanker, any American battleships riding through that strait, the Iranians already laid mines. You could get the mines. You could pull the mines up. I don't see how you're going to stop them from putting more mines in the water. I'm saying you're going to control the whole Iranian coastline. That's what I'm saying. America is slowly being dragged into a forever war. That's what I'm saying. Slowly being dragged into a regime change war. Because you're not going to be able, like you saying control, did America ever control Iraq? Or Afghanistan? If you look at the surge when America surged the troops, did America ever control? America was never in complete control. You had suicide bombers. You had RPGs. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So the straits that that's regardless of how you look at this, regardless of how you chop it up, regardless of how you break it down. When it all comes to a head, America has a choice. Either you are at the point, President Trump is at the point where he's going to be bogged down in a forever war, a conflict of this sort with Iran, or he's going to make a deal. One of the two. Says the Strait of Hormuz varies in width. Yes, it does. Listen, they're only going to attack the strait and in the point where the shipping lanes go to 2 to 5 miles. One ship in, one ship out. You talking about what's that on the west side of the island? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to Europe, we're not talking about the strait over there. We're talking about the Strait of Hormuz, which you have to pass through. That's going directly underneath, past the island. If you're coming from the west, you're sailing past the island, and you're going through the strait underneath Iran, where the shipping lanes are 2 to 5 miles. You are not going to safely be able to stop Iranians, a country of 92 million, from shooting a drone at you. At any time when you're going through the strait, they're going to know when you're going through the strait. You cannot stop them from shooting a drone at you. You cannot stop them from shooting RPGs. You cannot stop them from shooting ballistic missiles. You cannot. Let's be real. You done hit over 5,000 targets in 2 weeks, and they still shoot missiles at you. They still shooting rockets at you. They still launching drones. You can you cannot watch. You're not gonna be for you to be able to. You could see the whole coastline if you put enough drones and you got enough intelligence in the area. But I'm saying, how are you going to be able to respond to everything done on that coastline without you putting boots on the ground? And we're not talking about 2,500 Marines. We talking about country. We talking about empire building. We talking about holding land. We talking about a full military operation. We talking about a forever war. It's almost impossible for you to do that. That's where America's at. The longer you stay there, the longer you're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm going to play this audio for you guys. I want to just start off by saying, I'm going to start off by saying, guys, I have not addressed this, and this is the time in which I'm going to address this. I'm going to start off by saying that 160 Iranian children were killed by a Tomahawk missile. You see what I'm saying? Now, in that strike, the school that was struck, the Iranian school with the children that was struck by the missiles. And then a short time later, they were struck by the missiles again. What I'm trying to tell you that is it's factual, though, guys. I will say this, it's factual, that America does not have a history of killing children or going after civilians during military conflict. America's military does not have a history in doing that. So what I've heard some people say and others say as well, and what we know for a fact is a lot of AI is being used in that war, is being used in that battle. So in these battles, so a lot of times artificial intelligence is making the decisions and the calculations. Now, I'm not finna present any evidence to you guys to tell you that the artificial intelligence is what killed those children in that Iranian school. I can't present any evidence to you to tell you that. But all I'm going to do is give you the facts. I'm going to give you the facts that America is using artificial intelligence in this conflict. And due to America using artificial intelligence in this conflict, when you hear some of the things that I'm going to play for you guys, yeah, artificial intelligence, besides drones, software, computer software is making decisions over life and death. So let me play this audio for you to get you guys going and started in the thought processes about the artificial intelligence being used.
Hours of this war, the U.S. struck 1,000 targets with the help of AI. The military's Maven Smart system, which is built by data mining company Palantir, is generating insights from an astonishing amount of classified data from satellites, surveillance, and other intelligence, helping provide real-time targeting and target prioritization to military operations in Iran, according to 3 people familiar with the system.
So real-time targeting and target operations. You see what I'm saying? So the artificial intelligence, you know what I'm saying? This is the Young Turks. The artificial intelligence is collecting the data from the satellites. And then as far as the targeting, is providing real-time data, real-time information. You see what I'm saying? So anytime we see an error like this that is way outside of what the United States military does, you see what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is a machine can make a calculation and a machine doesn't have empathy. A machine doesn't have sympathy. If these children were children of Iranian troops, or say they were children of Iranian commanders, okay, then I'm saying a machine can make a calculation off an algorithm with no feelings and no emotions and can make a decision to kill something and some things that humans won't make that decision. So we all know this. All the stuff I'm saying is facts. It's no conspiracy. Facts are America's using artificial intelligence in this war. Facts are that 160 plus Iranian children were killed in this war. So what I'm telling you is facts are that machines make calculations that humans won't make. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no human alive who's going to say it's okay to kill these Iranian children. And I'm not saying that the machines made those calculations, but it's food for thought. Let's continue listening.
Maven is also powered by Anthropic's AI tool Claude, which was banned by the Pentagon last week over the terms of its use in war. As planning for a potential strike in Iran was underway, Maven, powered by Claude, suggested hundreds of targets, issued precise location coordinates, and prioritized those targets according to importance, said 2 of the people. According to the people the WAPO spoke to, Claude has been used in countering terror plots and in the raid that captured Maduro. But this is the first time it has been used in major war operations. And
someone said something about Delta Force. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you this. Look, there's people who will say it's like the people who hate America with a passion, you know, they always come out the woodworks during wartime. If you guys ever seen or ever heard, or you've been alive or paid attention, like the flag burning and all that start, people setting themselves on fire, it usually a start during wartime. I don't hate America. I love America. I'm an American citizen. This is the country where I'm from. It's the country where I was born. It's the country where my family lives. You see what I'm saying? It's the country where my future is. This is my country. I love my country. If America had a history of killing children in military conflicts, or maybe not killing children, just, you know what I'm saying? If America had a history like Israel, I'm not hating on Israel. BB is in a tough neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But BB has a history. I wouldn't say necessarily Israel, the Israeli nation, but Bibi Netanyahu as the leader of the Israeli government has a history of killing civilians as he target military combatants. America doesn't have a history of doing that. So to be fair to say that those children were killed by Delta Force or by any other American, I just can't get in. I can't get there with you. I can't buy into that. That's not me like loving America or me not seeing the truth or me not being awoke or whatever they're going to call it. That ain't got nothing to do with that. I just know it's not within the American military purview. You could look at the history of the United States. Whenever Osama bin Laden, President Obama was faced with the decision of getting Osama bin Laden. Think about this. This is a man who killed thousands of Americans. Thousands. So I'm saying in my mind, it'd be fair game if President Obama, if while you were killing him, if you killed thousands of, you know what I'm saying, Pakistanis or Afghanistans or whoever he was with. He was in the area near a military base. They knew he was there. They weren't trying to kick him out. So President Trump could have just dropped a bomb, just like Israel does. You see what I'm saying? And it might would have killed, I think the estimates was 5,000 other people besides Osama bin Laden. So I'm saying in a situation to where America, you think about any other leader in this situation. Think about Vladimir Putin. Would Vladimir Putin have dropped this bomb? I would say most definitely he would have. 10,000% he would have. Vladimir Putin would kill his own people. Would Xi have dropped a bomb? I would say Xi would have dropped a bomb. Xi kills his own people. Iran killed their own people. Israel doesn't kill their own people. They believe more in human rights. But I guess due to the situation in the Middle East, I guess you got to go live over there. It's a much dangerous neighborhood than America. Due to the situation in the Middle East, you see what I'm saying? Bibi does kill more than just the military people that he's going after. Bibi is known to kill citizens for the Israeli. You see what I'm saying? So if I was looking at America's military like I look at the Israeli military and I look at those children getting killed, then I could say, well, hey, look, Israel has a history, or Israel has in the past, the recent past, the far past, you know what I'm saying? Under Bibi Netanyahu, they do stuff like that. America doesn't do stuff like that. America's not known for doing things like that. You know what I'm saying? So for me to think in any situation whatsoever that the United States had anything to do, I'm saying consciously, outside of it being a drastic error made, if you talk about the intelligence that was collected by humans, human intelligence that is being collected in that war, okay? Because America has been hitting America has been attacking countries and hitting targets for decades. America's military is probably one of the most seasoned, if not the most seasoned military in the world. So I'm saying to think America has been hitting targets before we've had the capabilities of drones and AI and satellites. So to think that those are just old coordinates that caused those Tomahawk missiles, like that just, I mean, that's a possibility. That is a possibility. I heard someone say something about old coordinates being the reason why those children were killed. So it could be possible that it was old coordinates, the reason those children was killed. But I'll say it again. I believe artificial intelligence played a major part. We know that artificial intelligence is playing a main or major part. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you guys right here, I'm going to play some audio where here the United States military is admitting the use of the artificial intelligence in the war. So we know that they're using AI, okay? Let me play this audio for you guys. If y'all haven't liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell.
look, I mean, the timing of this could not be more perfect, given what we've been talking about over the last few weeks, over the last few months, and the tech advancement that we've seen with AI just in the last few years. I want to get to the book and the history of AI in modern warfare, but first I want to start with what's happening in Iran and what you've recently been able to find about where AI is being used.
Very helpfully, CENTCOM has confirmed that they are using a variety of AI tools in their Iran operations. That essentially will mean Maven Smart System. So we've reported that Maven Smart System is being used. If you imagine a digital interface, something like Google Earth for war, you're beginning to get in the right kind of area.
So she said something like Google Earth. Have any of you guys used Google Earth? So imagine if you just pull up Google Earth and the artificial intelligence is looking at the data that Google Earth is giving. Is it saying they're using AI? And the AI is more extensive than just using Google Earth. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about the decisions, the artificial intelligence making decisions over life and death in the war. That's what we're looking for.
It is something that using computer vision AI and more than 150 different data feeds that the US can draw on tries to whittle down information, and CENTCOM confirmed to us generates points of interest. Now, what's the point of interest? It's everything before a decision to target.
Everything before a decision to target. So if you put up the middle school, you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. America has been doing the Americans are making conscientious decisions. So how do you end up with that middle school getting hit? If it's a human making a decision to target, we know an American is not going to make a decision to target 2 times a school with children in it. I'm not saying that there's not, this is only a decision that a machine will make. I'm not saying that. Because I've just stressed that if you look at the histories of the way the other militaries, Israeli military, other countries in this conflict, if you look at the way they operate, you see what I'm saying? But I'm saying if we look at the way the Americans operate, the Americans don't do stuff like this. So you start wondering in your mind, then how was this able to happen? And I'm telling you, if they're using artificial intelligence, look, they have drones. The drones that they use in Ukraine are fully autonomous. They use fully autonomous drones. What does that mean, Ghost? That means that drone, when they put that drone in the air, it's not being controlled by one human. It is fully autonomous. That drone is out there hunting. That drone is out there looking for the enemy. And when it finds the enemy, it will engage the enemy and it will kill the enemy. And it does this entire process without one human being. So I'm telling you, machines are. It's not like this is some far-fetched theory or some science fiction or something that's going to happen in the future. Today, currently, machines are making decisions over life and death on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Currently. And the machines are in Iran as well, too. If we get into a ground excursion in Iran, we'll see it even more. A lot similar to what's going on in Ukraine. And for America, if you look at how that war is being fought in Ukraine, why would you want to put 50,000 boots on the ground? If I was the Iranians, I would be welcoming you to put 50,000 boots on the ground. Because I'm saying the skies would be full of drones and all we'll do is just be picking y'all off constantly. I'm telling you, listen, we did a live stream. The Ukrainians, they have a command of strictly drone operators. I know we don't have that many people in the live stream. This might not be an extremely popular target, but I'm trying to tell you, I am giving every single day almost that I stream. And we talk about this war. I'm giving you, guys, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm good at predicting things. So I'm trying to give you a vision of what's going to happen. I started off by telling you President Trump is at a real inflection point. If he stays here 3 more weeks, 2 more weeks, or if he does what Ghost says, he exits stage right immediately. If he stays here 3 more weeks, he's just dragging out that inflection point, but he's at an inflection point to where he's going to have to make a decision. And the decision is to get bogged down in a forever war. You cannot control the straits, bro. You're going to find that out. Get bogged down in a forever war, or to diplomacy, make a deal. You could drag it out for a week. You could drag it out for 2 weeks. You could drag it out for 3 weeks. You could drag it out for 6 weeks. But one thing for certain and 2 things for sure, guys, I'm going to play this back for you guys. On the March 19th, I don't care how many people in here, what I'm saying still solid. I'm telling you guys, I know this for 1,000% fact, that this war, he's at a point to where he's going to have to choose between going to war for an extended period of time or making a deal. Okay? So if you at that point, all I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to give you guys some vision, some insight of how it's going to look like if the Americans decide to put boots on the ground. I mean, a lot of boots. Those troops, those Americans will be hunted by drones. And if you understand that, that's how Ukraine has been very successful in Russia, playing defense. I'm saying, like I said, in Ukraine, they have a unit. It's about 12 troops. And I'm talking about, look, drones count for 70 to 90% of the deaths in Russia. Keep that in your mind in Ukraine. 70 to 90% of the total deaths in Ukraine are done by drones. Keep that in your mind. So when you're thinking about how powerful the United States military is, how well-trained, well-equipped, and well-paid the American troops are, how much experience the American generals have, America has a 13-1 advantage over Iran. The only thing Iran has the advantage over is their geography. You know what I'm saying? It's a mountainous country. The country is surrounded by mountains with a desert in between. Alexander the Great has been the only military general, empire, king, nation to be successful defeating the Iranians within their own borders. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, President Trump. Bibi wants you to go fight that war because he don't have the army to do it. Israel cannot go into Iran and do what the United States could do. I mean, Russia, China, it's only a few nations could. The success they will have is a whole different story. But what I want you guys to be, one thing for certain and 2 things for sure, you see what's going on in Ukraine. That's how the Iranians will fight the American military. Where you guys are hearing this at? Who else are telling you this right now? I don't hear no one else telling you this right now, guys. This will be a war fought by drones, with drones, to where the Iranians will only, and the Russians know how to do it. The Russians are over there fighting the Ukrainians too. The majority, when I say 70, 90% of the deaths, I mean all of the deaths on the battlefield. Artificial intelligence has killed over 1 million people in that Ukrainian-Russian war. They were killed by artificial intelligence, Ukrainians and Russians. So the Russians are familiar with autonomous drones and that type of warfare. What I'm trying to tell you is we know the Iranians have a lot of drones. We know they have a big country. We know that before drones, they're capable of fighting you all the way to the bitter end. We've seen the Taliban do it against you in Afghanistan. We've seen how it turned out in Iraq. Iran is a much bigger country than those. We know they could fight you all the way to the end. So what Ghost is trying to tell you is they're going to use drones, drone warfare, to hunt American troops during that battle. It's not going to look like any fight that is going to be much worse, much more casualties than anything we've seen before in that war. You see what I'm saying? The Iranians, all they got to do is hide. America realizes how difficult it is to go house to house. You see what I'm saying? To try to secure an area. When the Iranians, the largest terror organization, basically, Iran, the largest terror organization in the world. They're going to be hunting American citizens and American troops with these drones, these autonomous drones. Let me play a little bit more audio for you guys about the AI being used in the war.
Target. So it's all the information you might need. Elevation, location, who's there, what collateral damage might there be, what weapon can we bring to bear. That point of interest becomes a coordinate that if it becomes a target, they can decide to strike on it. So that's something they're using all the time. And the commander of CENTCOM, most significantly, he's done a couple of video messages that have been out on X and everywhere. In the second one, he also publicly confirmed that they're using AI and that it's helping them speed up processes from what used to take months and days down to seconds.
Are we alone in having this? Can we assume, Katrina, I know this is not, I'm kind of just bringing this on you. Can we assume everybody around the world is working on these kinds of systems?
The US is using a platform made by Palantir. This is Maven Smart System.
Okay.
That system is available in other scenarios. So what's public is NATO has it. Alex Karp has publicly said allies in the region.
Palantir's founder and co-founder.
Yes, chief executive Alex Karp has suggested that allies in the region have it. Now, they won't have the same thing that the US has because what makes the US system special is the data they can draw on, and Palantir doesn't provide that.
Like with
So, guys, yes, artificial intelligence is being used in this war by Americans, by Iran. We already know this. AI is making decisions over life and death. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play a little bit more audio for you guys, and then I'll get down in the chat with you guys and see what you guys want to discuss.
Deep within the current war between the US and Iran is a battle. America's War Department and its most highly prized tech partner are now in open conflict over the use of AI, not just in this current war, but in all wars to come.
one of the world's leading experts in artificial intelligence in warfare is an Australian. He's told us ordinary citizens.
I'm saying artificial intelligence has changed the battlefield. If I could use a drone, a $300-400 drone to go hunt and kill men, you got to understand that. I could put autonomous drones in the air that could kill you. That's why Ukraine, the tides on that battlefield turned in favor of Ukraine, even though Ukraine is outnumbered at least 2-1 by the Russians. Some estimates 3-1. You saw every person Ukraine sends to fight with a gun, Russia has 3. But yet and still Ukraine is prevalent for the most part. If you look at it defensively, look at the territory that Russia is taking 4 years for Russia to conquer less than 20% of Ukraine. And Ukraine has taken back hundreds of miles of that territory within the last 30 days. And Russia has 3-1 the soldiers Ukraine has. That's because Ukraine is using autonomous weapons. And the use of those autonomous weapons, I'm saying it's a different kind of battlefield. It's a different kind of war. How many drones do you have? Does your military know how to use the drones? You see what I'm saying? It's a different battlefield, man. You got to realize that when America is looking at the map saying we finna go do what in Iran, you see what's happening in Ukraine? You see what I'm saying? Things of the world right before our eyes, man. The geopolitics in the entire world has to change. It has to. AI is already changing the world. I know you see it. Somebody's seeing it. They liking the video. It is already changing the world. If you look at a small country like South Korea, say South Korea has a bunch of drones, a bunch of autonomous weapons. I'm saying they got autonomous everything. They're starting to make autonomous everything. They're starting to make autonomous fighter jets. So they got a fighter jet that could fly without a pilot. And I'm saying these autonomous weapons, they're usually a lot cheaper than paying 30-40 million. Look, let's look it up real quick. Let's look it up. Let's say I'm a military and I got a choice of what I want to buy. So I got a choice to buy America's F-22. How much is America's F-22? How much is the F-22 Raptor? That's the most lethal fighter jet in the world. And it's 334 to 350 million. $330 million. Let's say, look, I'm just going to say I want to buy autonomous fighter jet. How much? I want to get an autonomous fighter jet. How much can I buy an autonomous fighter jet for? I could find one for 82 million. Look, hold on. Older autonomous jets, some of them you could get for 2.5 million. The F4 Phantom 2, older autonomous jet, 3.95 million. For a fraction of the price, I could buy an autonomous weapon. I could get a drone that flies by itself that's able to kill for a few $100s. And you paying $2 million per autonomous per Tomahawk missile. Does that make sense to you guys? So it's like the way that I could fight the war. It's the way that and how that I could fight this war. How can I fight this conflict? It's changed. The war is forever, man. Forever. A technologically advanced society, like I say, a South Korea. Say if they have a bunch of drones and they know how to use the drones doing 70 to 90% of the killing. The drones gonna do most of the killing. They have autonomous submarines, autonomous fighter jets, autonomous everything, man. Artificial intelligence. That's the move. That's the wave. On the battlefield, it's changed the entire world. It's changed all of the fighting in the world. And I think if you are a powerful nation like America, I think you should realize that and understand that. Because we should realize and understand that putting boots on the ground in Iran is going to be 1,000,000 times worse. They're going to be using drones to hunt down our troops. Have you thought about that? Listen, you ain't got to have a whole lot of people in here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming on the live stream to get paid off YouTube, even though it'd be nice. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you can hit that button with the $sign in it. You see what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, looking at the moves that President Trump has made to this point, it's like the advisors, the people they have around him, or you think, I know General Kane got to be telling them this. So it's like, are you thinking about everything, man? Are you considering all of the costs? Because you are about to fight a weapon against you're about to fight a war against a bunch of drones. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna be fighting against drones. Are you even thinking about that? That's what kind of battle is gonna be coming up in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks if President Trump decides to go ahead with this war. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead with putting troops on the ground. So if you guys like the video, man, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Somebody said the Strait of Hormuz at the nearest point is about 52 nautical miles. Yeah, you might listen. This is what I'm saying. Let me see. Strait of Hormuz. Narrowest point. So the Strait of Hormuz at its narrowest point is actually 21 nautical miles. And it's between Iran to the north and Oman, the peninsula, to the south. So at its narrowest point is actually 21 nautical miles. But what I was talking about is the shipping lanes, the shipping traffic. The traffic separation scheme, TSS, consists of two 2-mile wide lanes, one inbound, one outbound, separated by a 2-mile buffer zone. So you got 2 miles in, you got 2 miles in between, and you got 2 miles out. So I know if you shipping in, if you going west into the strait to pick up the oil, I know you in 2-mile lane, and there's a 2-mile buffer zone, 2 miles. So I knew you within a 2-mile radius if you going into that strait, and you coming out the strait. Them 2 miles go over 2 miles, and then you within this 2-mile radius going out the strait. So you got a lane going out the strait that's 2 miles. You got a lane coming in 2 miles, and there's 2 miles in between. So for the ships coming in and out within a 6-mile radius, you can identify any ship coming in and out of that strait within a 6-mile radius. So I'm saying, how could you ever possibly have safe navigation, safe passage through that strait if you're going in and out that strait on a 6-mile radius? You feel that? I'm saying, you understand that it's almost impossible to have. It's not almost. It is impossible to have navigation in and out that strait safely. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do it. And that's what I'm saying. You got a choice between a forever war. Listen, the only thing from here that's going to happen, the gas prices, they're going to get higher. I want to see the trick that you can pull to make gas prices get lower. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the trick that you could pull to make gas prices get lower, because there's nothing that you could do to make them get lower. That's all they're going to do is go higher from here. You cannot control the strait. So the only thing you are going to be caught in a forever war. 1,000%. That's the situation America is facing, a forever war right now. You know what I'm saying? If you guys hadn't liked the video, man, I ask that you guys will like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, guys. This morning it's a little bit slow in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see any of you guys down below participating, you know what I'm saying, as much in the conversation. So you guys want to have a conversation, you guys could jump down in the chat and let your voices be heard. And if not, guys, I'll just talk a little bit. I've been doing this lately, man. I know I covered that content pretty fast, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I thought it was very interesting to cover that. And I think it's very important because I don't think I don't believe that President Trump is getting the correct advice all the way. And if he is getting the correct advice, I don't believe that he's all the way making the right choices and decisions in pertaining to that war. You know what I'm saying? There's just some things, in my opinion, that he didn't think out before he decided to make that move to go ahead with that attack. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, hold on just a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, guys, I feel like President Trump. So I just feel like it's just important that we understand, you know what I'm saying, what we're up against in this battle. I just think that it's important that we understand that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really, really, really important that we understand that. I'm saying that somebody said they try. I guess he's saying the Iranians are trying to say that they captured the Navy SEALs. Maybe they are. Maybe they did. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get whenever you have a war or any kind of situation like that. You're gonna get propaganda like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't worry about propaganda, or you can't worry about what the other side or what the opponent is saying whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You cannot worry. It's completely irrelevant. You know, like for instance, for me in my situation, like, so if you guys don't know, let me go get that right there. So that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I pretty much felt like I covered the content. I felt like it was important, you know what I'm saying, as I said, for me to come in here and to just let y'all know that when you go put boot soldiers in Iran, you're not gonna really be fighting the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. I'm saying you will be fighting them, but in totality, that's not what you're going to be up against. In totality, what you will be up against is autonomous drones that they sending at you nonstop. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be fighting against machines. Because I know for one thing for certain, two things for sure, if them machines then kill 70 to 90 people, 70 to 90% of the people, on the battlefield, you see what I'm saying, in Ukraine, then I know you're going to pretty much be facing the same kind of problems when you fight that war in Iran. So I just thought it was very important for us to come in here and to talk about this. So, you know what I'm saying? This probably will be a member stream, but we'll have it known to the people that we covered this content. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, look, the only options he have right now, whether he take 3 weeks to make the decision or 3 months to make the decision, the only options he have right now is an extended war or make a deal. That's it. He either going to get into the regime change or he going to make a deal. That's the only options President Trump has right now. He could take 3 weeks to decide he going to make a deal, or he could take 3 weeks to decide he going to get on a regime war. That's the only options. The Strait of Hormuz will not be secured. I don't think oil prices will go down. Let's look at what the stock market looking like. I don't think the stock market is going to get no better. Y'all remember I predicted he's going to lose every single gang in that stock market. Stock market. What the stock market look like today? What's that stock market looking like today? I'm not going to support something that I do not believe that will be successful. That's for myself, and that's for President Trump too. If Jasmine Crockett is running an election for a position, and you know what I'm saying, whether or not I think she'll win or not, I might still support her. That's something totally different. You talking about his actions and the decisions he's making is affecting America. It's affecting all of us. So support something that he's doing that's affecting America, our future, that I don't think that's going to go good. Guys, the Dow Jones index yesterday currently is down 768 points. So that means on a daily basis, the Dow Jones is taking a beating, losing tens of billions of dollars on a daily basis. The Dow Jones currently is at 46,225, and the high for the Dow Jones was 50,000 points. So from its high of 50,000, which I believe it hit this year, it's down almost 4,000 points. That's trillions of dollars. The Dow Jones is down almost 4,000 points. That's trillions of dollars. Remember when we was talking about President Trump and the golden age? We're talking about a golden age. Last May, I got a check from the U.S. Treasury. You see what I'm saying? About $18,000. President Trump was talking about stock markets. Y'all remember the tariffs. He was talking about erasing deficits. You had Doge. I'm talking about, guys, this was like a year ago, 12 months ago. From 12 months ago, from him getting mad about winning the Nobel Peace Prize, being a peace president, no foreign wars in my 4 years of being president, from 12 years ago and that. From 12 months ago and that. To a year later, less than a year later, bro. What happened to Doge? You spending over $1 billion a day in the war. You're supposed to be addressing the affordability crisis. You got gas up 90 cents. The price of all the goods are going to creep up slowly. And then as far as your golden age, the stock market, I predicted record levels it would hit, and it hit record levels. It hit 50,000 points. The Dow Jones hit 50,000, just like I predicted. Now I'm predicting it's going to go record levels in the other way. He's about to wipe out every gain. The Dow Jones is about to drop lower than it was when he first came in the White House, and he's been in the White House now for over a year. Think about that. This President Trump, this the stock market president. He hit record numbers. It never hit 50,000 before. And I'm saying this war is going to cost him every gain plus some since he's been in the stock market. That's not just the Dow Jones. That's going to be the S&P 500 as well. He's going to lose every gain he gained. He bragged about the S&P 500 touching 7,000. He about to lose all those points too in the S&P 500. Affordability, and this is an election year. There's no way you could get me to try to support this war. I know what's coming. You're going to put boots on the ground. The Iranians going to do what the Ukrainians did to the Russians. They're going to use drones on you. They're going to be hunting U.S. Marines with drones. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying it's going to be ugly. It's going to be worse than Iraq too. It's going to be worse than Afghanistan. All the facts are there on the table. So I'm saying, why would I support President Trump in this? Why? At what cost to America? What threat? So the word they want to use or want to define is imminent threat. Was the Iranians an imminent threat to the United States? That's the word they want to use, imminent threat. You know what I'm saying? Imminent threat. I'm saying, could or would Iran do to attack or harm America on its homeland? What would Iran do? Nothing whatsoever. Iran was an imminent threat. I believe that even though the Iranian government are full of bad people, still that's in power right now, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard by the Europeans was declared a terrorist organization. I don't disagree with none of that. But what I'm saying, if they stayed in power, I'm saying, how would it hurt Americans? How would it hurt you? Because you were trying to remove them from power. It's costing us right now $1 per gallon. And if you keep going, it'll go. That gas will get up when it hit $4, when the gas hit $5 under President Trump. And you got an election in November. How can you expect me to support that? I cannot support that. That's for the good of President Trump. That's for the good of the Republican Party, and it's for the good of America. I think it was a horrible idea to do that right now. What I think President Trump should have did, I think he should have started planning for a possible. I'm saying it depends on where you stand on this. Some people who support what President Trump is doing, then I'm saying I think he should have started planning for it. I think he should have got on the phone with the Italians and the French and the German and the English and the South Koreans. And he said, hey, y'all, you know, when we go attack Iran, you know about the Strait of Hormuz, you know gas price is going to get high. So listen, guys, we need to once and for all, if we could get rid of the Iranian regime, this regime is the last protagonist in the Middle East. If we can remove this regime, you see what I'm saying? I believe we could get some peace and quietness in the Middle East, at least for a decade or two. If we could remove this regime, but it's going to cost and it's going to be hard. South Korea, would y'all help us do this? Canada, I know I've been talking about y'all. But will y'all help us do this? Can we build a coalition of the willing part too? Before we go attack Iran? That's what he should have been doing in 2026. And if he wanted to start the military operations, he should have started them after December 1st, 2026. After he went out there explaining to the American people, after, You see what I'm saying? If you got the aircraft carriers near Iran and you beefing up near Iran and you telling the American people, I'm saying he might should have done Cuba. Cuba would have been a lot easier proposition. A lot easier. I'm saying he would, like you did Maduro. You were successful with Maduro. The American people largely don't care. So go do Cuba. Because you know that'd be easy. Be successful with Cuba. But I'm saying you should have waited for Iran. I don't know why he put Iran number 2 or number 3. He know that was going to be the hardest one. You wait towards the end of your White House before you do that. Wait till after the midterms at least, man. That's what I think, man. But hey, he chose to go ahead and hit him right now. And I think that was a huge mistake, guys. Like, I know you guys weren't in here yesterday, but I want to play something that Marjorie Taylor Greene said because it just made perfect sense. You see what I'm saying? I know I played that she said this yesterday, but guys, I'm telling y'all, when I heard her say this, it just made the most sense that I heard out of any politician who has been addressing this war to this point. And I'm saying the view that she gives you, this view is coming from a person who is a politician, a person who had skin in the game as a Republican who was out there vying for votes during a year that President Trump didn't only pick. Listen, guys, the fact that President Trump chose to fight a forever war with Iran, I think the American people largely do not care. I think most of the younger Americans, like the crowd from 55, my age, to about 55 to my age, down to about, you know what I'm saying, maybe 18 or 19. I think they might be with us. I think the majority of the younger Americans, not the baby boomers, the younger ones, they don't agree with no kind of foreign conflicts or no kind of foreign wars or anything in the Middle East like that whatsoever. But the baby boomers and President Trump and, you know what I'm saying, there's a segment of war hawks. I call them war hawks in America who have a lot of power. Senator Cruz, I believe, in my opinion, you a war hawk. That's what I believe. If that's what you are, own it. It ain't nothing wrong with it if that's what you are. Senator Graham, in my opinion, I believe you a war hawk. That's what you are. If that's what you are, man, then just own it. You a war hawk, you a war hawk. That's what I'm saying. So there's a segment of people who believe in fighting wars who have a chokehold on the Republican Party. Guys, I want to play this. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and this is my opinion of this situation with President Trump politically. I always address it politically. If you ask me how I feel about a man or a regime that kills tens of thousands of their own citizens, that's why I say, like, you can't get me to come out and say that I don't support or I'm not for. You see what I'm saying? You removing a guy who is a danger to humanity. That's what I call you. I hadn't killed one person in my life. So if you're killing tens of thousands of people, I don't care how much money or power you have, in my opinion, you are a danger to humanity. So that's why they need to remove you. And if you're killing tens of thousands, I don't care if you're an Iranian, I don't care if you're Afghani, I don't care if you're Iraqi, I don't care if you're Israeli, or I don't care if you're an American or a Russian. They need to remove you. Putin needs to be gone. So in my personal opinion, me protecting and defending human rights with my whole heart, you see what I'm saying? I'm going to always personally support the removal of a man who is willing to kill 10,000 plus of his own people. I don't care for what reason. I don't care if you say, oh, well, the Americans, Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz, they don't really care about killing the citizens. They care about the oil. They care about, they're getting paid from the weapons lobbyists. I don't care what you say. To me, none of that matters. Personal opinion, the Ayatollah was a bad man. Ain't nobody shedding 0 tears over this dude. Let's be real. He was a bad dude to his own people. I heard the Iranian prime minister says, hey, America is how many thousands of miles away from us? 6,000, how many? We can't hit America. If they could, he would be a bad person to us too, just like he is the Israelis. So going after him, attacking him, killing him, I've never been against it personally. But politically, at this time in this year, for President Trump to decide to make that move against Iran, let me play Marjorie Taylor Greene, because this is just how I feel. What she's saying is how I feel.
The president broke with me over the Epstein files, so that always has to be said. He called me a traitor because I stood with women who were raped when they were 14 and 16. But I do completely disagree where the president has led the country. You know what? It makes absolutely no sense, Pamela, going into midterm elections. Let's remove Donald Trump out of it. Let's just put any president in there. Why would an American president lead his political party into the midterms, waging a full-scale major war, completely unprovoked on Iran, on behalf of Israel? And that's the way most Americans see it. They see this is for Israel, not for America. Why would an American president do that, which is forcing gas prices to hike right here going into spring break, where families are going to be driving out of town, going into summer, declaring and waging a major full-scale war that seems to have no end in sight, that is not de-escalating, it's escalating every single day, and it just doesn't make sense. And
I agree with her totally, man. It don't make sense. And then you're gonna wage the war this year, right now. Gary says he should have minded his business, so now he lives with the consequences. Look, Gary, this is what I'm saying. As far as an American president, I've never seen an American president be in this situation where you're saying he needs to mind his business. You see what I'm saying? People say that the United States is not the world police, and I don't think a lot of younger people want the United States to be the world police. You know what I'm saying? The United States, has been bogged down in these type of conflicts for a very, very long time. But I just think from going back to the Vietnam War, regime change is just a bad idea. That's what I believe. You see what I'm saying? I believe, listen, what President Obama did in Libya, or what President Trump did in Venezuela, I'm saying, to me, it's like people will contradict you going into a country and you killing or removing their leader, and then you allowing like basically a civil war to after you leave. Like that's kind of what happened in Libya. People are against that. But what I'm saying is you got to think about the cost to America. You always got to count and consider the cost to America for your action. That's what it is. That's what you got to consider every time you make a military decision. And I'm saying President Trump, I don't care what you guys say. I like President Trump personally. I don't have nothing against President Trump personally. President Trump did not calculate the cost. That's point blank, period. You think President Trump saw his stock market finna hit 45,000 points? You think he saw that in less than 3 weeks? You think President Trump, do you believe he thought about that? Did he see that? And did he think about his stock market hitting 45,000 points? That's like 5,000 points, almost 5,000. It's over 4,000 points down from that high. Do you think he's seen that? Do you think President Trump in less than 3 weeks seen gas going up $1? A whole dollar. More than that in some places. Do you think he's seen that? Do you think President Trump even thought about the Strait of Hormuz and America not being able to control it? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you gonna ask England. Yeah, England needs to me, England need to have a front line role in that situation. You want to become a world power again? Here's your chance. France, JD said y'all was soft. President Trump should have sicked the French on him. That takes a lot of negotiating. That takes a lot of planning. That takes a lot of talking. That takes a lot of strategy. And that takes a lot of swallowing your pride. That's how you win, by being humble and swallowing your pride. Integrity, courage, discipline, honor. Shout out to all the those 7 core values, man, of the U.S. Army, man. Shout out to all my veterans, man. You see what I'm saying? They taught me that. I believed in that. You know what I'm saying? I know as most soldiers and most troops, they don't live by the core values, but I think, I did. And that's what I'm saying, and that's what I feel, and that's what I believe. I believe moving on from so you can forget everything that happened. What I'm saying, if President Trump by Sunday, going into week 4, before he goes into week 4, if he announces the end of the war, if he says, listen, all of the United States military objectives have been completed within 3 weeks, it's going to take years for Iran to project strength outside of their borders. We're not too much concerned with the Strait of Hormuz because we're going to make a deal concerning the Strait of Hormuz. But to this point, the military of the United States have completed their objectives. I've talked to Bibi Netanyahu, and I told Mr. Netanyahu that Israel could still operate, but they can't operate on a large scale as they were before fighting this war. And from this point on, that the American military will no longer be involved in this conflict. We getting out of there. That's the only way back. Your stock market will recover immediately. It'll start recovering immediately. Your gas prices will start coming down immediately, straight closed or not. You're going to take the power away from Iran. The only way you can take the power away from Iran is by getting up out of there. That's it. There's no other way. If you stay, you're not taking the power from them. If you stay, you are engaging with them in the conflict. That's what they want. So from this point right here, you can't control the strait. I'm saying President Trump, I'm telling y'all listen to Ghostwriter. Today is March 19, 2026, where President Trump is in at this position from now until he makes a final decision on this war. There's only 2 things he could do. He either gonna get out within 3 weeks, or he's gonna be bogged down into a forever war with Iran. It's only 2 choices he can make. He gonna get out, which he really needs to get out now. But he gonna get out in 3 weeks. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no other choice. You're not controlling the straits. You're not doing nothing spectacular. Ain't nothing else gonna happen besides what you did. The only thing from this point that's gonna happen is more Americans are gonna die. So just like prior to you going into that conflict, you didn't count the cost. You didn't consider the cause. I'm saying where he's at right now, if he does decide to go into a long conflict with Iran, where you're going to put boots on the ground, all I want to tell you is that it's going to be catastrophic. Not only for him, politically, but for America and America's image on the world stage. I hope he doesn't end up having America looking like Russia. That's what I'm saying. I hope he doesn't, in the end, the United States does not end up looking like Russia. That's what I'm saying. And the reason why I hope that is because I'm telling you, drones, autonomous weapons are killing 70 to 90% of the people on the battlefield in Ukraine. That's the same thing going to happen in Iran. They got a lot of drones. They got a lot of autonomous weapons, and if they don't, they could get access to them, and they're going to use those drones and those autonomous weapons against U.S. Marines and U.S. troops. It's going to be bad. It's going to be ugly, man. And that's facts. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, it's not about coming in here and trying to defend President Trump. It's about telling President Trump that, hey, buddy, gas going to go up another $1. It's going to be $2 higher a gallon. Imagine, y'all, right? So I said the gas started at $2.77 a month ago. President Trump stay in safe for 6 weeks. Right now it's at $3.69. Wait till it hit $4. This the president that declared the war on energy. He declared a war on energy. He talked drill, baby, drill. You drill, baby, drill. Think about this. You the drill, baby, drill president with gas over $4 a gallon. Come on, man. What I'm saying wrong? I know y'all can hate on me, attack me personally. You wasting your voice, man. You see what I'm saying? You wasting your time. I sue people for a living, bruh. You see what I'm saying? I sue people for a living. So I'm going to just sue you. You see what I'm saying? You wasting your time attacking me, bruh. Like, I'm trying to help you. That's the reason why I get to sue people, because they keep trying to attack me and retaliate on me, instead of getting the help. Everything I'm telling you is right, has been right. And if you listen to what I'm telling you, President Trump would have been the greatest president that ever lived. I'm telling you, I'm narrating for that's what America needs. That's what America tried to vote for. Hey, we tired of the same thing. Ain't nobody listening to us, what the people want. So we gonna go vote for the black man. Oh, well, the black man, he's still like a politician. Okay, well, we don't want no politicians. We gonna vote for the crazy businessman from New York who ain't never been in politics before. Oh, well, he tried to start a riot. That might be crazy to get someone who ain't a politician. He tried to take over the government. Oh, well, we going to give him another chance. All the prices of everything was low when he was president before COVID. Job market, it wasn't the best. It wasn't as good as Obama's eventually, but it wasn't that bad before COVID. I'm saying the stock market, the GDP, everything was looking pretty darn good under President Trump in term one under COVID. And then the thing about it, the most important thing about it, he didn't have no wars. These are his words. I'm going to play these words for you next. No foreign wars. He trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. No foreign wars. That's President Trump's first term. That's why the people voted for him. That's what I'm telling you, what the people want. So if you listening to Ghost, who's an independent, who represents 45% of the American electorate, the independents are nearly half of the entire American electorate. Yo, Republican, Democrat don't matter. Y'all minorities. Us independents, 45%. President Trump, this is what we want to see from a U.S. president. Can you hear me? Are you listening? But I'm saying once he gets up there, he gets involved in the politics and he's not thinking about the average, regular, normal man. Why Ghost want to be a president? Once I become president, they're going to make me do A, B, C, or D. No, Mr. President, when you go to the CIA, they come talk to you and the CIA say, we're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and that's what we want. And these are serious people. You understand that? These people are serious. They're tasked with keeping the homeland, the United States, safe in the world, Americans safe. So when they say they want to go do something, they say they want to go kill such and such. Oh, yeah, they'll be siding with Bibi and the Mossad over President Trump. Oh, yeah, they got to kill. So they're going to put the maximum pressure on you to do this. They did this to President Obama. The CIA got objectives and goals. President Obama helped them achieve their goals, but he wasn't going to attack Iran. You see what I'm saying? This the president talking about drill, baby, drill.
The focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
So you opening up the power plants and you talking about President Biden war on energy. Let's keep listening.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
You declared a national energy emergency. Your first day in office. So I'm saying that President Trump considered a national energy emergency when he declared war on Iran. Look, I want to see national price of gas under President Biden. What y'all think it is? The national price of gas under Biden. What y'all think it is? What y'all think the national price of gas under Joe Biden was $3.50 to $3.60 per gallon. Under inflation, it got up to $5 per gallon. That's the highest it got. But the average price was $3.50 to $3.60 per gallon. So what's the national price of gas today? Because I'm saying you declared a war on energy. President Biden ain't never could declare a war on energy. And the price of gas today is $3.88. So the President Trump, that's what I'm saying. You got to understand what the American people are looking at and what they're seeing. During the spike with President Biden, yeah, the gas got to $5 a gallon. He never declared it. He never came in here talking about inflation and how he was going to lower the price of anything. President Biden didn't come in with the problems that you have, President Trump. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is you came in, you talking about inflation, and you saying the way you get to inflation is dealing with energy. So we're going to lower the price of energy. So we're going to get the price of gas down. And I'm saying the American people, they depended on the price of gas being cheaper under President Biden, under President Trump, excuse me. If the national average is $3.60 under President Biden, under President Trump, I told you up here 30 miles north of New York City, gas $2.77. So it's down. It was down. It was down almost $1 from the national average under President Biden. But then you declare war. And now your gas is higher than President Biden's was, and I don't see it coming down no time soon. That's what I'm saying. How can I be in support of that? How can I? Ted Cruz, he's not the president. He don't have Trump towers all over the world. Neither's this Senator Graham. So I'm saying the senators that do believe in war and they are war hawks, Senator Cruz ain't gonna be on no ballot this November. I think Senator Graham is, but he probably think he pretty straight to win. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They don't have the price to pay that President Trump has to pay politically. They don't have the price to pay that the Republican Party finna pay a big price for this. I don't care what nobody telling you. If it's Democrats or if it's a centrist network, or a network who got Democrats, a bunch of Democrats on it, and they telling you that, hey, look, yo, his approval rate's the same. He's not going to have to pay a political price. You believe that if you want to. I don't care what his approval rating saying. I'm talking about the independents. I'm talking about the young voters who never voted before who finna go vote. They anti-war. The quickest way to get the youth of America to rally against you is to start a war. I promise you, look at history. The quickest way to get the youth of America to rally against the president is to get that president to go start a war, a Vietnam War, a forever war, a war that makes absolutely no sense to the protection of the American homeland. So I think it's important to understand this. I think it's important to notice. I think it's important to recognize, since President Trump isn't being informed of some of these things, it's very important to recognize that America is at a point to where they might possibly be getting bogged down to where you're going to put boots on the ground. And if you put boots on the ground, the Iranians are going to be hunting the American Marines and the U.S. Army with autonomous weapons, and autonomous weapons are going to result for 70 to 90% of the deaths. Listen, I don't think the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, if they were smart, they wouldn't come out to fight you. I'm not coming out to fight you. You're going to have to come. I'm going to go hide amongst the civilian population, and you're going to have to look for us. Listen, if you got 1 million Iranian Revolutionary Guard members broken up into different compartments, listen, tell them to take their uniforms off, but pick their guns up and go in the house with their wives. And you send Marines out here, I'm going to give you a nightmare that you ain't never seen before. We got drones in houses waiting for y'all Marines. A nightmare that you ain't never seen before. This world is a different world. This is going to be a different war. I know General Kane. Shout out General Kane. He G.I. Joe, a real American hero. I know General Kane telling you this, man. So you listening to Ted Cruz, us just going over there, stepping on people, stomping on nations. Those days need to be over. There's a different way to do this. You can use the American military without firing one shot, one bullet. You can use the American military without firing one shot and one bullet. Oh, the Iranians, they come to negotiate. Oh, the Iranians, they're making a deal. Why? Because they don't want us to come flatline their country and their infrastructure. But since you did it, they want to engage you, and as long as the war is, they can. President Trump, the thing the Iranians do not want you to do right now, they do not want you to leave. That's what they don't want you to do. They want you to stay here. The Chinese want you fighting that war. The Russians want you fighting that war. Yes. They want you bogged down, man, in a conflict. That's what they want. You spending your money. You spending your resources, putting pain on the whole world with the price of gas, inflation. The economy's not doing good. And the Chinese the whole time saying, see them Americans, they crazy. They too crazy. Y'all come do business with us. We not crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's what we facing, man. That's what we up against, man. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video for me, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Also, guys, if anyone wants to donate to the channel, guys, y'all hit the button with the $ in it. And your donations are much appreciated. 2Dub says, you are correct. The Iranians manufactured the Shahed drone. The same drone wreaking havoc in Ukraine because Iran supplies Russia. A victory in Iran is a victory for Ukraine. That is exactly correct. If we could get the situation lined up like that, I don't think we'll get it lined up like that. I don't think it's going to line up like that. How I think it's going to line up is America will get embarrassed on the battlefield fighting a war that they haven't fought before. Listen, the Ukrainians are playing a defensive position in the war. We Americans, we will be in their country. And I'm saying you're going to be thinking like we finna fight a war like we fought in Iraq and a war like we fought in Afghanistan. So militarily, we're not going to make the same mistakes we made like we made in Iraq and we made in Afghanistan. Iran is much more difficult terrain than Afghanistan and Iraq. Let's look at the population of Afghanistan and the population of Iraq. If I'm not mistaken, Iran probably bigger than Iraq and Afghanistan put together. What's Iraq's population? Iraq's population. The Iraqi population right now is 48 million. What's the Afghan population? Afghan population 2026, 45 million. So we're talking about you dealing with a country that is twice what Afghanistan is, twice what Iraq was. You're dealing with a country with more people than Afghanistan and Iraq put together. And you're not fighting the same kind of war that you fought in the 90s or in the early 2000s. You're fighting a war that has autonomous weapons, that has drones, that's going to hunt down and kill American citizens. Hunt down and kill U.S. Marines. Hunt down and kill. That's what I'm saying. That's why the Europeans ain't trying to jump in that, man. President Trump just went and you got the powerful military. Use the military to get a good deal. You done stumped on them. So they say they not ready to make a deal. It don't matter. Back up. What they gonna do? They gonna be licking their wounds, rebuilding their country, and you just put the pressure on them and get them to the table again. That's your only options. If not, prepare for $5 gas. You done declare war on energy, and we got $5 gas. So you know what that's going to do for inflation. You know what it's doing for the stock market. You know what it's doing for the economy. That was a boneheaded move to fight Israel's war. And if you was going to do it, I told you 7 days max. You at the 21-day point, man, you could achieve the military objectives, bro. There's nothing else that I could do that'll help this situation. It's a bad decision. It's a bad choice. That's me having a lot of love, a lot of respect for President Trump. Listen, I have a client, okay? This client went to an attorney with a case. Something happened. Good morning, King Fire. Good morning. Good morning. Something happened with that client and that attorney in that case. And so the client went to another attorney with the same case. And something happened with that client and that attorney in the case. So the client went to a third attorney with the same case. You guys know I'm a legal. I file lawsuits. That's what I do. I'm in a middle of litigation, against 2 cities right now. I just about to complete discovery on one of the cases against one city, and I'm about to respond to an answer or a reply from a city on another lawsuit. My 2 personal cases, I got 4 cases that I done filed. 2 of them are personally in the middle of litigation right now. You see what I'm saying? So that being said, like, you know, I talked to this client. She went to 3 lawyers 3 different times and got the same results. I told her, let me file that case and then you go get a lawyer. You understand that? And I'm saying that's the same kind of advice that I would give to anybody in that kind of situation, man. Like, if you in a bad spot I'm saying it's not advantageous for America to continue on this path because of the pain that is causing America. I just think it was the wrong time, the wrong place for that action. You should have went into Cuba first. If you would have dealt with Cuba, you wouldn't have no problems with the stock market. I'm saying, why? It don't make no sense. I'm going to take the aircraft carrier that's already over there by Venezuela, and I'm going to move it to Iran. And I'm going to go deal with Iran, and then we're going to come back to Cuba. Huh? The aircraft carrier was already in position for Cuba, so you know you wanted to deal with Cuba next. So do the standoff with Cuba, and then do whatever you're going to do in Cuba. That's going to take you a day or 2. And then I'm saying, get over there towards Iran towards the end of the summer, bro. Like, or December. He shouldn't have put an aircraft carrier towards Iran to December, man. That's just my opinion, man. I just don't think it was the right move. Not at this time. Iran has renegated every single deal they've signed, reneged on every single deal they signed since 1979, and they probably did. 2 dubs. I'm not hating on that. They probably did. But the United States reneged on the last deal that Iran signed. President Trump tore that up. They probably did. But I'm saying there's no way in the world you could tell me that you finna fight a forever war with Iran. No way in the world. I'm talking about complete destruction for the Republican Party. I think the Democrats will win Texas. I think Texas going blue. It ain't no way in the world you ain't gonna have no consequences like that if you do something like that. Texas going blue. You see what I'm saying? Maybe Iran will renege on the deal, but if you do it, Texas gonna go blue. I promise you that. And you know what happened when Texas go blue? You guys don't have a chance after that. President Trump saying, I want to play President Trump saying, stop wasting money on foreign wars. Y'all remember President Trump saying that? I need President Trump prior to the election. I need him prior to the election talking about wars. No, listen, this is what I'm going to say. President Trump saying President Obama is going to war with Iran. Y'all remember that? Back in the day? This 6 years ago. This President Trump, y'all, I'm going to play some audio of President Trump from 6 years ago. This, look, guys, look, I'm going to give you context. So at this time, President Obama was in the process of dealing with Iran, just like President Trump is. Same cards basically on the table. The military generals told him about the Strait of Hormuz, what it's going to do to your stock market, what it's going to do to your economy, to the inflation and gas prices. The generals told him everything. They laid it out. Iran was a problem for President Obama too, so he had to do something. So this is before President Obama chose to make a quote unquote bad deal, because I promise you, the American people don't care about no bad deal that you made with Iran. They care about them high gas prices. They care about the things that they feeling, that they personally feeling. You see what I'm saying? The American people voted for Hillary Clinton by 3 million votes. The American people don't care about no bad deal that you made with Iran, but they do care about them gas prices. So President Obama, ends up making a quote unquote bad deal with Iran. But he made a bad deal with Iran throughout the rest of his presidency. President Trump tore up the deal. But for some reason, I guess they enriching uranium. When President Trump tore up that deal, they started enriching uranium immediately. President Trump had to know that in 2018 when he tore the deal up. They started enriching uranium immediately. And I guess throughout President Biden's administration, they was enriching it, got 60% uranium, got a bunch of them. They can make a bunch of bombs with that uranium. President Trump tore up the deal. So President Trump, it's your turn to deal with him. And he decided to tear up the deal and go to war. Was that a good decision? But this is what he said about President Obama when President Obama was in the middle of fixing or attempting to deal with Iran. This is what President Trump said 6 years ago about President Obama.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and is sure sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength, but to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage.
So President Trump, back in the day, back in the rib, said that President Obama was going to start a war with Iran.
But we're getting him the hell out of here.
And what happened? What happened? So President Trump gets in the same situation. He starts the war. President Obama makes the deal. You see what I'm saying? If you somebody saying, so look, so 2Dub says that, you know what I'm saying, you can't make no deal. You can't make no deal with Iran. That's what 2Dub says. They gonna renege on it. But what I'm saying is President Obama did, and President Trump ended up tearing it up. I don't care what you do. 20-year deal, no weapons. And we get to come in and inspect. So for the next 4 or 5 presidents, we ain't gonna have this problem. That's what you need to do. You need to make a deal. Anything else, you're gonna lose drastically. You know what I'm saying? What's up, King Fire, my boy? He said, bring our soldiers home, wasting money for Netanyahu. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be in Iran at all. Tell Netanyahu to send his people. Tell Netanyahu. You see what I'm saying? I agree with that completely. I agree with that sentiment. Why is the U.S. Marines gonna go secure the Strait of Hormuz? Why isn't Israel doing it? I agree with that sentiment completely, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I hear a lot of people, they hate on Israel. I'm not an Israel hater. That's not what I am. That's not what I do. I don't hate that. Hey, why would I hate on the nation of Israel? I have no reason whatsoever to hate on Israel. I'm a Christian. I believe that the nations that bless Israel will be blessed. And I believe that the United States for decades has stood by Israel. And I believe America has been blessed and America will continue to be blessed. That still has nothing to do with this being Netanyahu and Israel's war. That has nothing to do with Israel and Netanyahu should take the complete lead, not half the lead, the complete lead. Listen, it's unfortunate that America has more money than Israel. It's unfortunate that America has 330 plus million people than Israel. It's unfortunate that America has all the weapons, all the everything. It's an unfortunate situation. That's how I look at it. But what I'm saying, that's not our fight. That's Israel's fight. So if Netanyahu wants to fight everybody, he wants to go fight the Libyans, he wants to fight the Syrians, he wants to fight all the Muslims. You see what I'm saying? He want to take over all that land from the Euphrates to, you see, if he want to do that, let Netanyahu do that in Iran. Let him put his boots on the ground. Israel got an army. Israel got commandos. Israel got the Mossad. The Mossad, I would rank the Mossad as the #1 intelligence agency over the world in the world, probably over the CIA. Israel got the Mossad, man. You see what I'm saying? Let Israel do that. You just support him. King Fire agree with you 1,000%. He said, King Fire said that's how he got combat veterans votes lying about no war. I think the military, though, King Fire, they support military action. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to hate on President Trump for any military action that he decided to do in Iran. I'm talking about the extension of that action. And I've said that from the very beginning. I've given y'all my opinion. Killing the Ayatollah, Khomeini, no one cares about that. We care about the price of gas. We care about the stock market. I promise you, I could go find any one of these white girls, regular white girl, little 26, 27-year-old. I could find any one of these white girls around here. And as they don't care, and they don't even know the Ayatollah, they can't. Khomeini, they ain't pronounce his name no better than they don't care. But they care about that price of gas, though. They care if their boyfriend in the military, he get killed or his friend get hurt in this war. The stuff that affects them, they care about. They don't care about the stuff that don't affect them. So I'm saying President Trump snatching Maduro, that ain't cost him a cent politically. I don't think his first week in Iran really cost him much, but I promise you, you stay there. Because I said an extended conflict. That's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily disagree with killing a man who would kill. Think about this, King Fire. You know what I'm saying? I know you're thinking about Israel. You're thinking about America. But you can't down on Israel and down on America. Listen, we went hard at President Trump. I know I did. Because I'm going to stand on the law. I'm going to stand on civil rights. Anybody flapping their jaws don't mean nothing to me. I'm going to stand on the law. I'm going to stand on civil rights. That's why I got the cases. That's why I'm going to be successful. Guys, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire in my lifetime if I keep living. Definitely. Standing on civil rights. So I'm not worried about necessarily the money. I'm worried about, so if I'm standing on civil rights and I'm saying you got a man in ICE, and President Trump, he's supercharging, he going too hard, he doing too much, and you got ICE in Minneapolis, and you got the police officer who put his hand on the cell phone on a car, and he moved out the way of the car, but he shot a girl in the head 3 times. We got a problem with that. We got a big problem with that. And that ICE agent hasn't completely paid for what he did. We got a problem with that. We got a big problem with that. You feel that? I feel that's the same situation, the same scenario, the same everything. When you got Ellis Peretti getting killed, we getting shot. We got a problem with that. Well, listen, we hating on President Trump. We hating on ICE. We saying there needs to be investigation. Those are 2 American citizens killed in questionable situations. Ellis Peretti, in my opinion, it wasn't questionable at all. That was just a killing. It needs to be dealt with. What I'm saying is when you're dealing with Iran, you're dealing with a regime who will take tens of thousands of their people in the streets. Say you got like in Minneapolis, you ain't, listen, the Iranian government isn't manufacturing a situation, a false flag situation, so they can execute a protester who breaking the law. They're not manufacturing false flag situations to kill their citizens. They just publicly, in the public, arresting, or not, sometimes not even arresting, just executing tens of thousands of their citizens. The military just opening fire, saying you an enemy of God because you protesting, and King Fire, they just out there opening fire on their own citizens. I'm saying if we got a problem with Ellis Peretti or Renee Good getting killed, imagine if you had a regime who would just openly execute with AK-47s, their own citizen, tens of thousands of them, just spilling blood all the way out in the streets just because they out there protesting, saying they're enemies of God. I'm saying if you feel a way about Netanyahu or you feel a way about President Trump, imagine what kind of way I feel about a regime or a group of people like this. So if you're saying that they bad people, I'm saying if I was President Trump, that would have been my argument from the get-go. I'm saying, to me, that's going to lead to mission creep. That's going to lead to you being bogged down into this conflict. But from the get-go, if I was President Trump, I mean, that's the whole reason to go get the Ayatollah, because of the civil rights violations that he committing. That's what makes the free world, that's what makes America, that's what makes Europe different than the rest of the world. She don't care about the Ayatollah killing tens of thousands of his citizens, because China do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. That's why China don't realize the reason why they are not the leader of the free world today. The reason why they are not in the process today at a faster pace in taking America's spot as the leader of the free world is because the Chinese government, let them people listen, China is integrating artificial intelligence into their system. They are quietly building an empire. They are quietly positioning themselves to take over America's spot in the world, quietly. But they don't support human rights. If Xi had the problems in China that the Ayatollah had in Iran, and you had tens of thousands of people in Tiananmen Square, Xi would kill him. He kills protesters too. That's why he can't be the leader of the free world. Because the Europeans ain't going to follow him because they want to. The Canadians ain't going to completely follow him because they want to. The way President Trump treating them. You see what I'm saying? But they can't really align. President Trump knows this. That's the leverage. They're not going to really completely align with China because they're against civil rights. It's all about civil rights to me. It's about and protecting humanity. It's about humanity and protecting humanity. It's about humanity and protecting humanity. In my opinion, that's what it's all about. Mossad knows your exact GPS location. They can know whatever they want to about me, bro. I'm not scared of no Mossad. I'm not Charlie Kirk, bro. You see what I'm saying? I'm not scared of the Mossad. I'm not Charlie Kirk, my boy. I'm not saying the Mossad has something to do with Charlie Don. I'm just saying I move different, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to move completely different. Like, I stand 10 on what I believe, bro. Real talk. If I die like Martin Luther King, that's just the way God chose to have me to die. But I'm going to stand 10 on what I believe. I'm going to stand up for human rights. I'm going to stand for civil rights. That's the most important mission that I have in my life, is to stand up for human rights, stand up for civil rights. I'm going to do it continuously. I got a homegirl whose mother died at a facility. Her mother had a condition. She went to this facility to get treatment. My homegirl was telling her how to treat her mother, but they misdiagnosed her, and they didn't treat. She ended up dying. You gonna get sued for that? I protect the dignity of life, bro. That's what I do. I file lawsuits, and I'm gonna stand 10 on everything I'm saying. I don't care what no one say. I don't care what no one do. All you gonna do is get sued again. That's why I'm telling y'all, I know look, this is the 4th year I've been running my business. I just wrote, or I'm in the process of writing a $780,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna get paid 40 racks for. Be almost in April. By the time the 1st of April, I'm gonna be writing a $3 million lawsuit that I'm gonna get paid $60,000 for. Attorneys litigating them both. That's $100,000 in 2 cases. And I'm just a paralegal. All I got to do is write the cases. With money owed me from a previous case, that's $106,000 on 2 cases. You see what I'm saying? That's what I do, bro. I'm a paralegal, man. That's what I care about. I care about the law. I care about protecting the dignity of the law. It ain't about the money, because look at me right now. I'm in the car. I'm still standing 10. I don't care what this podcaster say. I don't care what legacy media say. I don't care what the police say. I don't care what nobody say. You see what I'm saying? I got God with me, bro. That's all I need. You can't beat God. I don't care how big you are. You can't beat God. And if you can't beat God, I don't see how they could beat me, King Fire. King Fire says Iran was waiting for this. Yeah, they was. They was sitting there waiting. They've been waiting for 25 years. The American military, let me tell you, America got Iran surrounded. America has Iran surrounded with military bases in the Middle East. Surrounded. America, look, hold up. You got America has bases all over Iraq. Okay? These are the nations that's surrounding Iran. Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and the UAE is the nations that's a part of the Hormuz Strait, besides Saudi Arabia. Across from Iran. I'm saying America has bases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then at the top of Iraq, that's 6. They got Iran completely surrounded. So Iran knew it was coming. President Bush talking about the axis of evil. That's why President Obama was next in, and that's why President Trump has said, President Obama, he gonna start a war with Iran. That's what President Trump has said. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, King Fire, we can't protect the civil rights of the entire world. You see what I'm saying? We could just do what we can. So that's how we tapped in, or that's how outsiders have tapped in to helping the situation that's going on, not just in Iran, but Venezuela, across the whole world. Like, if you a bad person and you kill a bunch of your citizens, or you starving your citizens, or you just a human rights violator, then yeah, we for you getting snatched. So if the Americans ain't snatching you, the Russians snatching you, the Chinese snatching you, whoever's snatching you, we're going to be for you getting snatched. That's how we protect our human rights throughout the world. The Iranian people deserve to live, or have the opportunity to live the lifestyle that I do, that the people in England does, that the people in Ireland does, that the people in Italy does, that the people in Spain and France and Portugal, I'm saying that the people of Iran deserve that opportunity to live that lifestyle. They deserve the opportunity. They're not getting the opportunity, being afforded the opportunity. They're being killed by tens of thousands because they're protesting against a communist regime. In my opinion, I'm going to always be for human rights and supporting human rights. So the Ayatollah used to kill tens of thousands of his own people, saying that they're enemies of God just because they're protesting. Then, when he get killed, he deserved to die. If President Trump did that, it's the same situation. You guys got to look at it. What if your president, when we go protest and we turn on the TV, and instead of Renee Good, you got 2,000 people were shot dead with M16s by the U.S. Army? What? You see what I'm saying? So when when you talk about, I'm always support human rights and the people support human rights. The reason why I call Putin a war criminal, the reason why I don't support Russia is because Putin has killed journalists. He has killed over 22 journalists. Stop killing journalists, Putin. Point blank, period. Stop killing journalists. You can't force someone to come with what you... Listen, President Trump and them could get as mad as he wants to about the people who don't give him good coverage with Iran. You get mad about what somebody's saying isn't going to stop the gas prices from rising. That's what I'm saying. You get mad about what somebody's saying isn't going to stop the stock market from losing 700 points. What you need to do is listen to what people saying and do something about it. He talked about how I'm more militaristic than President Obama, but he's not a good deal maker. I'm a good deal maker. I'm going to make a deal. Where the deal at? We need to see the deal. We want to see the art of the deal. No talking, no. I know the strategy. I want to make a deal with Iran. They're tough negotiators. They won't make a deal, so we're going to go in there. We're going to soften them up with bombs. You did that. They're not ready to come to the table. That don't mean you don't back up right now. You still back up right now. You got your lick in. You back up. You don't keep on swinging at the air. Back up. This is the time to back up. You stop shooting, I'm sure you will make them reconsider about not coming to the table. You stop shooting. They don't want you to come back in shooting and dropping bombs. You need to get off Netanyahu's page. You need to get off Israel's page, because America's objectives in this war should not be the same as Israel's. That's point blank, period. Everything I'm saying is straight factual. You see what I'm saying? Everything I'm saying is factuals and clear. Everything. America's objectives in this war should not be the same as Israel's. What I'm saying about that you guys don't understand. America's objectives should not be the same as Israel's. Point blank, period. Not in this war. But our objectives are the same as Israel's. And I'm saying we're paying the cost. That Israel wouldn't necessarily have to pay the cost. If Israel was fighting Iran in the war, you see what I'm saying? The Strait of Hormuz, Iran was still, but I'm saying it's not position to have the United States military in at this moment. And that's just bottom line. King Fire says money don't make me. Nah, money don't make me whatsoever. Not at all. That's why I'm in this car. Because, I care about money. I need money. But I was taught when I was younger, like I got taught by a lot of wise men. They put a lot of time in me. That's why some people say I'm so smart. I was taught when I was younger that you focus on being great or being good at whatever your craft is. My craft is composing legal documents, complex legal documents. I could compose a better legal document than your attorney can in any situation in litigation or a lawsuit. You need a motion of limine, I'm gonna compose one better than your attorney. You need a motion to dismiss. You need a motion for non-suit. Whatever you need a response, an answer. You need a complaint, a lawsuit. Whatever you need, I'm gonna compose that legal document better than your attorney. That's what they taught me. They taught me to get great at my craft. Whatever your craft is, get great at your craft. Don't worry about the money. The money's gonna come. Just perfect your craft. I used to be a cook. I never perfected my craft. I used to be a forklift driver. I never perfected my craft. I was really good at the things I did, but I never perfected it. And actually filing the lawsuits, I'm going to perfect that. I have perfected that. That's my craft, filing lawsuits. So the money's going to come. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not worried about the money. I don't care about the money. I need money to live, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I got $40,000 on the case that's finna get filed on Monday. I got $60,000 to $65,000 on the case that'll get filed in April. And attorneys are litigating those cases. I'm not litigating them. I got my own cases I'm litigating, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys that I don't want to be no lawyer. I think a lawyer they work too hard. You got a case even though they don't do a lot of work, when they do the work, I'm saying you got a case that 12 to 18 months, that's the average federal case. So 12 to 18 months if you go to trial. Okay, so say you work in the case, you trying to work a settlement, you like how I am in my first case, you at the end of discovery, you presented all the facts, no more facts to be presented. You know that attorney, he really don't want to go to trial because he probably going to lose anyway. So he come with a settlement. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying before you to get that settlement, you got to go depositions, you got to do discovery, you got to do requests for production, requests for admissions, interrogatories. I'm saying you got to do a complaint, you got to respond to their answer, you got to do a reply to their response. I'm saying that's just to get to pretrial. You're going to file 15 documents just to get to pretrial. 15 documents, you got to pay money for the discovery. So I ain't even talking about the money, but I'm saying that discovery, you paying a little bit of money because you got to get a court reporter for when you interrogate people. You got to record it. So you got to pay those court reporters, depending on what jurisdiction you in, about $4 to $10,000 per when you're doing your discovery, per witness that you disposing. So if you got 10 witnesses that you disposing, you finna spend a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time. See, that's what lawyers do in litigation. They might be at the golf course a lot. They might not be doing a lot of work that y'all see. See, I don't want to do all that. I'm a document preparer. I do one document and for a flat rate, and I'm gone. Whatever you got going on in your case, the only time I care is when I'm filing that lawsuit. So I'm doing a case for a client right now. And so that client, you know what I'm saying, she's navigating that case. So, you know what I'm saying, just like an attorney, you get your witness statements, you need to have your witness lined up, our documents lined up, everything lined up. And then we file the case. After the case is filed, it's the attorney's game after that. I'm gone. 40 racks and I'm gone. Drop a document, 40 racks, I'm out. Drop a document, 25 racks, I'm out. Drop a document, 60 racks, I'm out. If I'm your attorney, baby, I'm your attorney for 7 days. 7 days, I filed that lawsuit, now you got an attorney after that. And that's my business. See what I'm saying? The money does matter. Don't get me wrong, the money is important. That's the reason why you do it, for the money. But I was taught to perfect my craft. I was taught to care about those clients, to care about this customer who went into this gas station in which they put the wrong mat at the front door, in which that employee knew that that mat wasn't supposed to be at that front door, and this customer got injured, and the business was negligent. And she got $800,000 in damages. I was taught to care about that, not care about the $40,000 check I'm gonna get. Not that $40,000 check, any one of us get a $40,000 check. You see what I'm saying? So my cost for performance, bro, I'm saying like how you go to work. I look, this how I'm gonna work. 365 days in the year. I get a call, I bump into somebody. My homegirl I ain't talked to in a long time says she looking for a lawyer. And her mama just died wrongfully. And she looking for an attorney. And that's a multi-million-dollar case. And so the things that the attorneys hire is too sticky for them, or they can't argue that good. I perfected my argument. I perfected filing the cases, bro. I perfected this craft. I'm really good at this craft. And I drop the lawsuit and get paid. The money do matter, King Fire. It matters a lot. But what that customer went through and me doing my job, a good job at what I do, you see what I'm saying? That means more to me than anything, because that's my name. I told a customer yesterday, every single time I write a new lawsuit, that's a new chance at greatness for me. That's a new chance for me to be better than I was the other 28 lawsuits I did. It's a new chance. Every lawsuit that I write is a new chance at greatness. Every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said America first. I don't mean that. I hate definitely. Says Detroit, Michigan, house party squad. He talking about hip hop, figure something out. I don't know what that means. Sada Baby, Detroit, Michigan. Guys, if y'all haven't liked the video, y'all go ahead and like the video for me. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. I got so much legal work to do. As I told you, I'm completing a case right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about this case. It's an $800,000 case. I'm saying I'm going to get paid pretty good on it. It's only it's the fourth case I ghost wrote before, but it's the second largest amount that I sued for before. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really, 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 really excited about this case. I'm really excited about this, bro. You know what I'm saying? So excited. Yeah, guys, and then right after that, a $3 million case after that to file, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm excited about that too. Guys, this journey though, riding with Ghost Rider, man, I just want to play something for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Guys, y'all see those Nike Core Visions from Kohl's? They're only $84.99. You know what I'm saying? I get commission off them shoes if you buy them. They so clean, bro. They so clean. I got some Nikes like that, though. Just like that almost. You know what I'm saying? I love kicks. I love Nikes, man. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, what I want to do for y'all, for those of y'all who's still chilling with me, I want to play this Riding with Ghost Rider for you. So this Riding with Ghost Rider, this is what the series that we're on. This is a promotion that I did 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? It's a new series, man. It's the first time that I did a series to where, you know, I did 100 episodes on We the People, that We the People tour. So I got to say I did do 100 episodes on that. But, man, I'll see like I get like on Candace channel or on a big YouTuber podcaster channel, and I'll see like Joe Rogan, they be like on episode 3000 and something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when I'm gonna get on episode 3000 because I gotta get in the studio in order for me to do that. Because I'm saying in this car, I'm not gonna stay in this car streaming in this car. We're gonna hit 100 episodes. We're gonna be out the car. You know what I'm saying? Take about 4 months, a little under 4 months for me to do 100 episodes. I don't stream every day. You know what I'm saying? But I stream a lot during these times. And then, yeah, man, like, so We the People, we did 100 episodes. We're going to do 100 episodes riding with Ghost Rider. And then, like, whenever we get in the studio, we probably stream 2 days a week. Going to start streaming on Twitch, going to start streaming on Kick, going to start streaming on Netflix, start streaming on Facebook, start streaming on YouTube. We're going to do the whole 9 yards, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to probably do two days a week in the studio. But I just want to play this, y'all. What's up, Green Garden? What's up, baby? You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all double tap the screen, like the video. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all want to donate to the channel, man, y'all hit that button with the $ in it. Your donations are much appreciated. I'm going to play this for you guys. This is some audio, guys, from Riding with Ghost Rider. It's how we first started these series. Y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy, Big Ghost Rider. We got a new series on YouTube, man. It's called Riding with Ghost, man. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. All the great news and analysis, man. Make sure y'all stop by and come check that out. That being said, man, y'all know I'm a freelance paralegal. Business name, Miller Ray Legal LLC. I just got a quick question for you, though. What kind of work do you think I would get as a freelance paralegal with no experience? Y'all riding with Ghost Rider, baby. We are episode number 70 today. I thought yesterday was episode number 70, so I went out there to the beach, man. Not the beach, but to the park, Hudson River, you know what I'm saying? It's 32 degrees outside, so we can't start streaming outside. But when we do, we're going to do the Tax to Rich Tour King Fire, so I'm waiting on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to start that tour. You know what I'm saying? King Fire said, make the money, don't let the money make you. Yeah, man, it's all about bringing justice to those clients. That's what it's about for me. It's about those clients getting justice. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 clients now. One of them, her mother died due to negligence from the hospital. And another client, she fell down in the store because the store, and they still doing it to this day. You know what I'm saying? They put mats at the floor that's made to stand on. They're not made to walk on, especially when the floor is wet. They're not cleaning the floor. They have wet. They're not putting wet floor signs down. Somebody, old grandma, gonna go in that store and fall down and die. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I care about right and wrong. If your business doing wrong, if your city ain't following the law, if y'all violating people's civil rights, I'ma sue you. That's what I do. So I done wrote 7 lawsuits now since July, the middle of July. So basically August when I started. August, September, October, November, December, January. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote 7 lawsuits, almost one a month. I'm going to write another one in April. That's going to be 8. I got another one wrote, that's 9, and I got one in this folder, that's 10. Active. You see what I'm saying? Not counting the lawsuits I wrote in my career. Freelance paralegal, this is my 4th year. You know what I'm saying? So year number 5 year, I'm gonna make well over 100. I think in year 5 I'll make well over 100,000. That was my goal. I got 105,000 finna be on the table within a couple of weeks. On the table. And then I still got 4 or 5 cases for myself. You see what I'm saying? So those 4 or 5 cases for myself, you know. So, yeah, good morning, Green Gorin. King Fire says you got to start doing like an hour, maybe 2. That way you have more episodes. Oh, yeah, I feel what you're saying. You're saying stream like for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Just come in here and just, you know, go hard for that hour and then just get on down. You know what I'm saying? But I like streaming like 3 hours. I probably do. Whenever I get in the studio, I probably have like I start doing news episodes that are just an hour. Where it'd be a lot less opinion and it'd be just basically an hour worth of news. You see what I'm saying? So people who look for me to get news when I could screen share, you know what I'm saying? I'll bring content to where you'll get the wide variety of news. So I'll be screen sharing what Fox say, what CNN say, what MSNBC saying. I just screen share all the news and I'll screen share it from different perspectives. So I won't just come in screen sharing what Fox saying or screen sharing what MSNBC saying or even what CNN saying. CNN I think is in the middle. But I come in screen sharing what all the news agencies saying to give you a good perspective of news, solid hour, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll still do my shows where I do my analysis, but that's probably going to come later on down the road. I still got a tour to do. You know what I'm saying? Tax the Rich, man. I still got discovering to do. We're going to go across America. America's so beautiful, so gorgeous, man. We're going to go out to the woods, go out west, go outside, go find the lakes, the rivers, the streams, the ponds, the beautiful places out in nature, man, God's creation. And we're going to go start recording, man. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that real soon. So that Tax the Rich tour, I'm looking at 100 episodes of that too. So 100 episodes of Ron with Ghostwriter, 100 episodes of Tax the Rich, and then we go into a studio. So I owe about 130 episodes, you know what I'm saying, outside before I get to a studio. You know what I'm saying? So that's the game plan. That's how we running it. You know what I'm saying? I think about a month more of Ron with Ghostwriter. That'll give me 100 episodes of Ron with Ghostwriter. And then it's going to take about 4 months to complete that Tax the Rich tour. So are you looking at it, me getting in the studio right before the midterm elections? That's what my goals are. The video of No Bap with Sada. Donnell keep talking about rap music. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think I used to try to be a rapper, so, you know, you think about Sada Baby. I'm going to just comment on what Donnell's saying real quick, just to give you the point. He keep talking about Sada Baby out in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I like the other rapper from Detroit, but we'll just use Sada Baby. And let's see how much Sada charges per show? How much does Sada Baby charge per show? Let's see what AI say. Come on, AI. Y'all give it to me. How much Sada Baby charge per show? Give it to me. Give me a number. How much? 25 to 50,000 per show. So you think about your favorite rapper. He talking about Sada Baby. He charging 25 to 50,000 per show. So for one lawsuit, I get 40,000. So I'm making as much or more as Sada Baby is for that lawsuit. The next lawsuit, I got 60,000. I'm making more than he is. It take me a week to do it. King Fire says still got a lot of lifting. The lifting is easy for me. King Fire, the lifting is easy, man. That's easy work. It's easy work. That's to me what people look at. Look, so whenever I get that $40,000 check or that $60,000 check, whenever they look at those checks, that's the glamour in it. You see what I'm saying? I got 30 racks from the U.S. Treasury last year, just from the Treasury. And then from other places, you say in November, I got 15 racks. So you say I touch about 50,000. That's the glamour in it. You know, I could do live streams and I could, listen, for the people who making $50,000 an episode, you know what I'm saying? I always say this, like Candace, she come on a live stream making 50. She built that. You see what I'm saying? She built that. She didn't just get on the live stream, started making $50,000 an episode. She built to that. Does that make sense? Well, I'm saying I got to do the same thing. I got to build to that. I'm not making a $50,000 an episode, but I never was trying. I'm still not going to try to make the money off YouTube. The money's coming from the lawsuits. So if I'm making $50,000 lawsuit, I'm straight. If I'm only doing 3 or 4 of them a year for right now, that's good. I got 2 of them. In my year number 4, I got 2 lawsuits over 40 racks, payouts to me. You see what I'm saying? Listen, I get to year number 1, 2, 3, but it's about year number 2 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I started seeing the benefit of my business. I started getting paid. Like 7,000, 6,000, you know what I'm saying? 10,000. You know what I'm saying? 5,000, another 7,000. You know what I'm saying? I was getting paid just hitting like little lit style. You know what I'm saying? Do a complaint, take me 17 hours, I get 7 racks. I had to see the money. I had to see the vision. I had the dream, but I had to execute the dream and see the vision. So once I seen the vision, I'm 42, 43, 44. I'm staying with my pops. I never knew him. I called it the war room. I seen the vision. I did the heavy lifting. I was disciplined. I didn't go out, didn't talk to nobody, no friends, heavy lifting, discipline. I started seeing the money. You know what I'm saying? I touched over 60 racks in 2 years, filing legal documents. So when I seen that I could do that, when I seen I could get the money, then now it's time to elevate and escalate to the next level. The way I'm running my business, I'm not just going out there getting regular people to. Candace could say the same thing. The way she running her business, she just coming on YouTube, but she built that. That's what I'm saying. She built that. Whatever I'm building on YouTube, I thank y'all all the time. Tell y'all I love y'all, spend that time with y'all. But I'm saying whatever I'm building on YouTube, though, it's just extra. What I'm building, Sada Baby, 25 to 50,000 a show, that's what I'm building. You see what I'm saying? All I need, if I'm getting an average of $30,000 for every complaint I write, 10 complaints is 300,000. I write 10 complaints, 300,000. That means I work 10 weeks a month, 2.5 months for 300,000 plus. Work 2.5 months for 300,000. That's what I'm doing. 10 lawsuits, 300,000. That's what I'm saying. I got personal cases. I filed cases pro se, You see what I'm saying? Against the cities, those are personal cases. It don't matter who. I'm still litigating the case just like a regular lawyer. But I'm saying I'm doing the same thing that I did, how I started this business from day one, litigating cases, pro se. I'm still doing the same thing 4 years deep in the business. But 4 years deep into the business, I did one case that changed my whole perspective. It gave me my future. Instead of me chasing after $15,000 to $20,000 checks, because that same check, a lawyer get $100,000, I'm gonna get $20,000. I'm a paralegal. I don't have a law license. I'm not gonna make what he makes off a case. Even if I'm litigating it myself, like he litigating himself a case, he's an attorney. He gonna get every dollar it's worth. I'm not. I walk away with 10, 20,000, I'm happy. I'm saying that's why I told y'all 7,000, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, 8,000, and 29,000, 18,000. I'm saying I picked up those. I did that my first 3 years. I went 14 months without filing a case. But during those 3 years and all those cases I was running, I had a man who came to me who had been shot in the heart. He still had a bullet lodged in his chest. Due to the nature of the situation, a dude come and shoot up his sister's house. He go over to the woman's house. I would do the same thing. He shoot up my house. This dude trying to kill me. This could be a, whatever situation. He goes over to old guy's house, talks to his sister, everything cool. So he ends up going up to the gas station. The dude see him at the gas station, he shoot him. He got a bullet in his chest. His brother, thank God his brother was there, because his brother returned fire and shot the dude. That's the only reason why my boy T's still alive. But T couldn't find an attorney. So my pops brought me the case. I filed the case. The attorney didn't want to take the case at first. I put my magic on it, filed the case. The attorney took the case. T got a 6-figure check. The attorney got 50 racks. That's my business. When I seen that I could do that, signing a case for $12,000, I was a rookie. 12 racks. I thought, bro, I did something. Listen, I come in here, I type one lawsuit. The client go file it, sign a $12,000 contract. I thought I was doing something. That's my Sada baby. That's me doing my Sada baby. You know what I'm saying? $12,000 a gig. I thought I was doing something. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot to learn. I didn't even get paid the whole 12. You see what I'm saying? But I still got paid off for doing it. And it took me a few hours, 17 hours to write that case. I wrote an $800,000 case in a couple of hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I'm saying I could do the case quick. And I'm talking about it's going to be better than your attorney. It's going to be on point. And I'm not even going to the law library. I'm not using LexisNexis. I'm not using no tools, really. I'm not even using Google Scholar. I could just do it off the regular internet better than your attorney. That's how good I got at it. And so when I seen that vision to where I could make $12,000 off one case without having to litigate, you know what I'm saying? I dropped a lawsuit. The business gets scared. They drop the bread. I could say, look, I got $7,000 and I work for 14 hours. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good money. That's like $400 whenever I'm able to pick it up. But I'm saying the way in year number 4, me getting that $800,000 case, that changed my whole business. Yeah, you wrote $1 million case before, Ghost, and you didn't even get paid the $12,000. Yeah, I know. And I'm going to fix those mistakes and I'm going to run it back. I'm not going to be litigating cases. I'm not going to be an attorney. I'm not going to be doing none of that. All I'm going to do is from one of my friends, from word of mouth, or from you guys, somebody going to hit me up with a case. And I'm not doing it unless it's $500,000. All I need is 10 people a year. All I need is 10 customers a year. I can make $300,000. That's the business I built. You know how much my overhead is? You think if I file 28 cases, say 30 cases, it's going to cost about $400 per case. So 30 cases, that's $12,000. You know how much my overhead is? I ain't paid $1 in overhead, not $1. You think you go start a trucking company? My pop started a trucking company. I'm not hating on him, but he got $100,000 loan. Bro, you give me $100,000, bro, I'm gonna make $3 million. Real talk. Cause I'm saying you give me $100,000. Only thing I'm gonna do is get an office. So that's just a regular place to stay, and I'm gonna just promote my business. Cause I'm saying the two customers I have, they're really close to me. Really are. I think my homegirl, she had told her she was gonna try to find a lawyer. She can't find a lawyer, but she got everything she need in that case to win that case. Like she been litigating that case. And then she gonna holler at her big brother. You know, I love her mother too. Her mother was my friend. You see what I'm saying? Real talk. I was cool with her mother. I know her mother. Her mama protected me. Listen, this is a woman. I told this story. This lady died. And I'm finna write a lawsuit for this lady. Her daughter, who is my friend right now, one time, I'm 22 years old, and I'm selling pills. I'm a 22-year-old black pill seller in Mississippi, and this is 2002. Not that long ago, but it was long enough if you young. You know what I'm saying? And this is my little homegirl, bro. She like 13 years old, 13, and I'm a 22-year-old drug dealer. Real talk. She 13. I ain't never touched her in my life. I never even tried to see. This is what you don't know about people. This is something you don't know about it. But what I'm saying, what if your 13-year-old daughter came home with a 22-year-old drug dealer? And he was black. And this your little white daughter. And she 13. So when her daddy came home, he was 38 hot. He don't know I ain't sleeping with his daughter. He don't know that. All he see is this dude, this grown man with my 13-year-old. He don't know what's going on. He work in the oil fields or something. He ain't never home. So, and he racist too. I don't think my homegirl care if I say this because he racist. He is. He kind of racist. I got cool with him too. But whenever I come around, he still gonna make a black joke. You know what I'm saying? He know me, his daughter 13, so when his daughter get 21, his daughter grown. She ain't got no black kids. She ain't never said he touched her. He right there, he over here all the time. I know they hanging out all the time. They stop hanging out for a while, then they back hanging out again. They just friends. I just got close to her. She like my little sister. You see what I'm saying? So her daddy come home one day, he see this black dude in his house with his 13-year-old daughter, this 22-year-old drug dealing black dude. Her daddy was 38 hot, boy. He was mad. Ain't no way this N-word in my house. See, he ain't saying it to me in my face, but he around the door and he calling me an N-word to his wife and his daughter. So I don't know who else he was talking to. So what her mama did, her mama came in that room and her mama stood with her backside in my face, almost touching my lips. And when her daddy came in that room talking smack, her mama was standing right in front of me saying that Greg is Jessica's friend. And he ain't going nowhere. This is a woman that died. I remember this explicitly. I said this on a live stream a few weeks ago. She came and stood in front of me and she said that Ghost is my daughter's friend and he's not leaving. She protected me, made me like basically a member of the family. I used to drive my little sister car and everything. Black dude, this a little white girl, bro. You feel me? In Mississippi too. But he from Texas. He from that redneck part of Texas. Real talk. So I'm saying as I developed my craft and got into what I do, I'm saying my little sister, her mama got sick and went to a medical facility. This is the same woman that defended me 20 some years ago. She got sick and went to a medical facility, and due to the negligence of that medical facility, she died. Oh yeah, you know, you finna get skint up. That business gonna get skint up. Ain't nobody could protect you. President Trump can't protect you. I'm on my way. We dropping them documents in the court. $3 million. $3 million. Your lawyer ever wrote a $3 million lawsuit? Your lawyer ever won an appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals? Your lawyer ever litigated in 20 states 12 states. I got boosting myself. The fish that big. Your lawyer ever litigated in 12 states, boy? I done all this. I'm doing all this right now as a freelance paralegal. So yeah, I'm super excited about my business. Writing an $800,000 case and getting paid 40 racks off of it just for doing the work. Writing a $3 million case and getting paid $60,000 off of it doing for the work. I'm year number 4 of my business, bro. My business has been the biggest blessing to me in my life. Legal Wars Live is just a gloss. Legal Wars Live is just a floss. Legal Wars Live is just an opportunity for regular people to see my journey at fighting for justice. That's all Legal Wars Live is. I made thousands off. I made over $5,000 off of Legal Wars Live. I'm saying Candace make 10 times that in an episode. Look, I went on Candace's live stream. She had $199, $199. She had $500 worth of donations and over 30,000 people there waiting on her before she even come into the stream. Over $500 in donations and 30,000 people waiting on her before she comes into the stream. But that's what she is. That's what she do. That's why I mess with her. That's why I watch her. That realness. I like that realness, but I don't care what she be saying. She real. People talk about Tucker. They say, oh, Ghost, you be watching Tucker like, you know what I'm saying? Tucker halfway racist and Tucker this and Tucker that. I hear what they saying. But I mean, I just think it's profound that, you know what I'm saying? He is racist and he don't like Democrats and he don't like black, but he against President Trump fighting that war. That's profound. I don't think Tucker say he don't like black people. I don't think Charlie Kirk would have said that. You know, Candace was one of his best friends. But still in all, there's a lot of Democrats. There's a lot of people like, Ghost, why you listen or fool with them kind of dudes? Them dudes are racist. Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk, they racist. You know what I'm saying? But I listen to everybody. You know, I listen to country music. I don't hate on country music. He talking about a rapper. I listen to country. Some of my favorite songs in the world were written by white boys, white European boys. You know what I'm saying? Some headbangers. You know what I'm saying? I don't discriminate on no music, no culture, no nothing, bro. I just try to, you know what I'm saying? Be as real as I can. Funny how it takes no education to become a thief, a lot to become a lawyer. We should demand that thieves have 3 years post-secondary education. Bro, I got 169 college credits, but that's my fault. Because I didn't take a 2+2 program. You see what I'm saying? So I'll show you guys this so you'll understand. So if I was going, so let me see. Okay, look, let me pull this out and I'm gonna show you this, and I think this will help you get this better. So guys, I went to University of Southern Mississippi. This is 2016. I'm gonna see if you guys can see this. 2016, I'm at the University of Southern Mississippi, okay? So that means that I already have this. This is an AAS in paralegal technology. Okay, I already have this. I could get Associates of Applied Science. If you look here, what was my major? See right here, I only did this. I only changed this to get a good job. I live on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so I did. That's my home. So it's a lot of tourism, casinos and tourism. So in the summertime, you can make a lot of money at the restaurants, more than a paralegal. I worked at Shaggy's, man. I made $200 better per shift. Each shift like 6 hours. And I was making over $200 as a food server. So I wanted the job. My homeboy was a manager. He in his 20s. I'm like 32 or something like that. 33, 34. I want the job. So I went and changed my major real quick to hotel management. Y'all see it right here? Hotel and restaurant management. But where my GPA at? I'm not a genius. Because Candace, your GPA, I be hearing you talking, baby girl, it probably was a lot higher than that. But I had 9 classes, and at the time I had a 3 3.25 GPA, 3.250 GPA at the time. But listen, I'm telling y'all this to say that when I went to the University of Southern Mississippi, he's talking about education, it's about 90 credits you can graduate from the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. From the community college, y'all know the 2+2 programs. So I'm going to go get my basic academics in my freshman and sophomore years. And as a junior, I'm going to transfer to University of Southern Mississippi to get my bachelor's. Take about 150, 160 credits to get your bachelor's, political science. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go get 90 credits from the junior college, and I'm going to get the other 60 credits from the university. I need 90 to transfer. You see what I'm saying? When I was at the junior college, or maybe not 90, like 75, I'm saying I got 120, 130 credits at the junior college. I got a bunch of legal classes that didn't transfer into political science. So I got an extensive training in as a paralegal, not as a litigator, but as a paralegal. I got a lifetime diploma, a lifetime certificate. I got extensive training, a lot of college credits. Those college credits didn't transfer. So I got 169. I got as many college credits. In some majors, you could get a master's degree with 170 college credits. And I got 170 college credits, and I don't have a master's. Yeah, it does take a lot of education to become an attorney. And especially, I don't know how useful the education is, because a lot of attorneys got a lot of education, and they're not really that good of attorneys. You see what I'm saying? I could do the documents better than them. And they're attorneys, and I'm just a paralegal. So, yeah, it take a lot of education to be an attorney, and it don't take a lot of education to be a crook. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of college credits, man. I got a lot of education. I'm very proud of what I decided to do with my life. Like I said, 42 years old, man, I decided to start a business doing legal documents, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see no business like that doing legal documents. I had a lot against me, a lot of people hating on me, a whole lot of different stuff. But I had God, and I had my trust in God and my faith in God, man. And I kept my head down doing the work. That's why somebody said it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting. That's the easy part for me. The heavy lifting is the easy part for me. The hard part for me is once I get that money. Some people think that's the easy part, but it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Me get $100,000 to make the right moves and the right investments in my life. You see what I'm saying? To continue growing, not just financially or growing with wealth, picking myself up from this situation, establishing myself with a very successful legal documents business. It's not about that. It's about growing in life too. It's a whole scenario, a whole situation. You know what I'm saying? But for me to make $300,000 a year filing legal documents, all I need to file is 10 legal documents per year. So in year number 4, I got 2 of them within 30-day time period. I feel so good, bro. I'm saying dudes, they worry about girls. They worry about this. They worry about everything. The only thing I've been focusing on, I went from Houston. I went to Austin, Dallas, San Marcos, you see what I'm saying? The Woodlands, all through Texas. I brought it to Mississippi. I went through Tennessee. I went through Illinois, Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and I'm up here in New York. You see what I'm saying? And it's my business, man. That's what counts. It ain't no girls. It's business. I stay focused through this entire time. The whole 3 years I ran my business, I stayed focused. From when I started in the war room, that training at my pop's house in 2023, since 2023, I did 18 months in the war room, and I came out and I got about 50 racks. And I'm going to do probably about 12 or so months in this car. And when I come out this car is my new war room. When I come out this car, I'm going to double that. I'm going to touch 100 racks. In a few months, within 6 months, I'm going to touch over 100 racks. So people see me, this car, they don't understand. Yeah, I do got a lot of heavy lifting, but that's the easy part for me. Filing the lawsuits are easy for me. I'm telling you, there's a amount of whenever. Listen, someone will do something to me and I get real upset. I get real mad. I got it in my mind. I'm gonna get you back. You see what I'm saying? There's a degree of joy. Listen to the word joy that I get from suing you. Every time I sit down at that computer to compose a lawsuit, that's a new opportunity at me for greatness. You got to understand what I'm doing. I could go argue in front of the Supreme Court justice. You hear that? That's the most, but I'm saying you sitting there, you counseling President Trump. I'm saying I'm trying to do that with Legal Wars Live. I'm trying to counsel or give counsel. I know I have before. I know my counsel has been used, but I'm saying that's what I'm doing, running my mouth here. But I'm saying with my trade, me filing documents, I could go in front of the Supreme Court. Just they got more power than President Trump. I could litigate. I could touch the sky. It's not like I'm Sada Baby. Sada Baby, if he became Drake and he could do a venue with 100,000 people in it, then that's as high as he gonna get. But I'm saying you out there and you singing a rap song for 100,000 people. You entertaining them like a monkey on the stage entertaining a bunch of people. What you do for a living and what I do is completely different. I'm finna get a law passed or finna get a judge to write an order that's gonna help to protect the rights of those same 100,000 people. I'm trying to stop them 100,000 people from getting discriminated on, from getting fired from jobs for no reason, from if they disabled veterans getting pushed to have to live in their cars. You see what I'm saying? For President Trump cutting jobs for veterans, I want to get a big lawsuit for a veteran, man. That's what I want. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all talking about a female and a girl like I can. That, bro, I'm 45. I done been with over 240 different women. About 20 of those women I've been with over 100 times. Each one of them. I'm talking about running through them. I put miles on some of them girls in a short amount of time. I'm talking about 5 times a day. Every fantasy I have, just tearing it down. 240 women, 20 different. I'm saying, so if I get a new woman, I'm saying what I'm finna discover with her, she finna be my wife? What I'm finna discover with her? I said I didn't sing, so I want to get paid 60. I want to sit down at a computer, compose a legal document. You got to understand, this is something I get joy from doing. I love doing this. I get joy from doing this. I love writing lawsuits, bruh. And I know my lawsuit is better than any attorney that's going to come in this court. I want my lawsuit to be better than the judge's lawsuit if he wrote one. I want it to look better. That's what I do. I'm a document prepared. That's my joy. Every lawsuit is an opportunity for me. When this client got it, listen, so this client's in this situation. She trying to get this $800,000, right? So look, she having problems getting an attorney. That's why they come to me. You know what I'm saying? People, like, you got to understand the law, the legal game. You don't take it personal, but they try to shut you out. You're talking about giving a person $1 million, a gatekeeper. If there's a gatekeeper around, you guys, this might be over a lot of y'all head. If there's a gatekeeper around and he look at that, he might try to block them from getting that much money. $1 million is a lot of money. You ain't talking about no 100,000. You talking about $800,000, bro. That's a lot of bread to give somebody. If that person was poor, they get 800,000. They're not poor no more. For a while, they're not poor. For a while. If they do what's right with the money, they'll never be poor again. You see what I'm saying? You changing somebody's life. That's a lot of power. So people try to block them. So the lady comes to me and when I'm giving her advice, she going from lawyer, she trying to find a lawyer. Just like my other client, they trying to find lawyers. They're having problems. When I got seen her at the point to where she could not find a lawyer and I was going to get that case, bro, it's like I was praising God. Real talk. Bro, and then I'm going to get paid $40,000. It's another case I had off of it, so $6,000 off that case. But I might get that $6,000 before this case. I'm going to get paid $40,000 off this case. It'll be closed within 8 months. I'm saying somebody said I have to do some heavy lifting. Me sitting down at that computer and writing that lawsuit, I want that lawsuit to be better. I want when them to read that lawsuit, I want them to want to give me a award for writing it. Critically acclaimed. My name, my stamp, my everything on that lawsuit. That's my work. And I'm not an attorney, but I'm a document preparer, legal documents, 4 years, linking the bayou, my business in good standing. That's me being a rapper. This I made it as a rapper. This is my dream. I've made it as my dream. What kind of job can you get to where you could do this? This is a dream job, and I created it for myself. Doing something I love to do. I love writing lawsuits. I love arguing people. I want my stuff to be the best ever. So you give me an opportunity to write a lawsuit and you're going to give me 40 racks for it? And it's going to take me 6 to 8 hours. I'm with this client for 7 days. This client came to me on Tuesday. That lawsuit would be filed on Friday. So really, she my client. Really, I'm the attorney. Really, I'm her everything. Really, I'm doing all that hard work that I didn't want to go to law school and be an attorney. I didn't want to do all that, but I'm really doing all that stuff right now. But on Monday, when I drop that case off in that court, that business is being sued. I got a $40,000 ticket on that lawsuit, and I ain't got to do nothing with her no more. She just found a lawyer. Now her lawyer got it. You feel that? Now her lawyer got the case. Her lawyer got the case now. You feel that? Got the case. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to worry about nothing. Same thing with this. So, you know what I'm saying? That multi-million-dollar case that I'm finna write. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all about my client, her mom, who was my friend. You know what I'm saying? So look, this was going to happen on that case. On that case, it's about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with her right now doing the intake. That case is a lot more different. It's a wrongful death case. It's a multi-million-dollar case. So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot bigger lawsuit as far as how many pages and documents and how much you got to prove and the medical consultation and all the requirements that's required before a wrongful death or a medical malpractice suit. It's going to be a lot more work, and I understand that. I'm very capable of doing the work at a very high level. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to take my time. You know what I'm saying? The whole amount of time I'm going to be with this client or touching this case, it'll probably be about 2 weeks or so. The complete amount of time touching the client or with the case, probably about 2 weeks. I'll say somewhere, give or take about 2 weeks. But I'm saying when I walk off, I got her to sign $60,000 check. When I walk off from her, bro, I got 60 racks riding on that case. All we got to do is connect with a lawyer. So now the lawyer got it. I wrote the case 60 racks. That's my side of baby. I do that 10 times a year. That's for at least 30,000. That's 300. That's what I'm saying. Every case I write that I know this case is going to win, you know what I'm saying? Or my job is to write this case and get her paid back off this case as quick as possible. Every case that I write, I'm trying to close that case. I'm trying to get that client a $1.5 million check with one complaint, one lawsuit that I wrote. So every case that I write, it's a new opportunity for me to be great. It's a new opportunity for me to do it better than the last case. Because you got to understand, these cases that I'm writing, it's $3 million riding on this case that I'm writing. $3 million riding on this case, bro. $3 million. Your boy Ghostwriter from a car. You feel me? From a car. Writing a case that's that strong, that's that powerful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, like, listen, my homegirl, I know she had to heard about your boy Ghost. If she's starting to have trouble or difficulties finding a lawyer, she had to hear about it. That's her big brother. She know what I do. She know I'm good at what I do. And it's just, I mean, how could you say that's anything else but God? I'm saying it's a tragic situation that she lost her mom, her mother, That's very tragic. But I'm saying her mom didn't have to die that day. If her mom was going to die in 6 months, her mom deserved to live those extra 6 months. That's very tragic that she lost her mom, but she did. And that's an opportunity for me to help my little sis get justice for a woman that I cared about, that stood up for me and defended me. That's an opportunity, her and her death. Think about the opportunity, the chance. That's what I'm saying. Every case that I wrote, every case that I write, this woman and her death, this is a chance for me, for a woman who was a friend of mine or that I was cool with. You see what I'm saying? That in her death, grieving grandchild, she got a little grandchild, a little grandbaby that she loved to death, that was this close. She loved her grandma. 7, 8 years old, this little grandbaby lost her grandma. My little sister, her daddy, he lost his wife. She lost her mama. Her husband lost his mother-in-law. You see what I'm saying? And she didn't have to die right then. Oh yeah, like to have the opportunity to fight for a woman who stood up for me, even in her death, to fight for her in her death. That is humongous. That's what I'm saying. Look, to imagine I was the bad guy my whole life, got in trouble, selling drugs, went to jail, all of that. And in the end of my life, to be able to write a lawsuit to help my little sister become a millionaire due to her mother's death, bro, that's beyond a dream to me. That's like having a life that meant something, or having a life that was fulfilling, a life that means something, going from being a drug dealer or going from doing all the bad things that I did in my life to writing lawsuits to help a man who got shot in his heart, a bullet lodged in his heart, to help him, to help a girl whose mother went into a medical facility and died prematurely. That's really close friend of mine, to help her, to help a client who went into a gas station and fell down, had to replace her whole knee. It changed her whole life. To help her. I'm really close to her too. I love her to death. My whole heart. To be able to help these people to get hundreds of thousands of dollars that changed their lives. To be able to help them, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's more important than any female that I get, because the girl that I'm going to get, when it's time for her to come, she'll be there. That's more important than any rapper could get on stage and rap a song. That dude just on stage rapping a song. How is he benefiting life, society, or the public? You see what I'm saying? Like, so you got to understand that it don't matter what nobody say. It don't matter what nobody do. The abilities that I have, they outweigh a lot of people's hate. I might not get $10,000, $5,000 a live stream, 35, 50, 100,000 a live stream, making ad revenue. You know what I'm saying? But I want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals. That's value. Me not even being a lawyer too, that's super value. Because if I was a lawyer saying that, you know what I'm saying, there would be a degree of respect that you would give me. Okay, this girl or this guy, they're just podcasters. This dude's an attorney. So yeah, as an attorney, he's going to do more things that's beneficial to the world than a podcaster would do. If I was a podcaster telling you I want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals, that would be just one thing. But I'm saying I'm not a podcaster though. I mean, I'm not a lawyer though. I'm really not a podcaster, but I'm saying I'm just a regular dude telling you that I want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals. To me, that makes a difference. It's what I do, the nature of my work. The nature of my work, bro. I'm litigating in court. Trying to help people, help change people's lives, man. The nature of my work, man. Like, I'm telling you, I'm zoned in, I'm focused. I've been focused for this July be 4 years. For 3 of those years, I've been doing heavy lifting. I did 18 months in the war room. I did 8 months in this car. I'm saying when I first got in the car, I had thousands, though. I had a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? But I did 8 months in this car. The time I spent in the war room is what allowed me to be able to do and build this business without having to punch a clock. I ain't punched a clock in 3 years. I never punch one again. This is my future. You see what I'm saying? I think about my homeboys. I got a homeboy, you know what I'm saying? I love this dude though, but we bump heads, you know what I'm saying? And he a preacher's son though, but you know, he bought a house and everything, bro. And you know what I'm saying? He done invested his money pretty wisely over the years. You know what I'm saying? But I look at him, bro. I think he probably got 20, 30,000 or so in the bank. You know what I'm saying? He was a barber. That's all he really gonna do. He flip a house or something. I don't know what he got going on. But I just look at him. And I look at my other homeboy who worked at the Beau Rivage Casino, you know what I'm saying? 401k, hustling hard. Like I was a server, he make about 200 a night with his tips and everything. I look at my other homeboy, he got money, bought a house. But then I look at myself, man, to be the opportunity, my future, is bright as I knew it from the get-go, just the nature of my job, how creative I was. I knew I was going to create a lane that no other paralegal had. An independent document prepare a good year. I'm talking about they doing 100 cases like a lawyer. They got contracts taking attorneys' caseloads. A good document prepare. I'm talking about if he got a firm, 3 or 4 paralegals. I'm saying, like, unless you Zoom, what's that called? Zoom.com, whatever, like where you could get that free legal advice and free legal. Unless you like that, man, those people, that a good document prepare make 100,000. And I'm talking about he got paralegals, he got a contract, he got 1,000 attorneys with him. I mean, he got a whole lot going on to make that 100,000. I'm saying, bro, I just told you 10 cases, I make 300,000. 20 cases, I make 600,000 doing what I love. You see what I'm saying? And look, it's because I advertise my business to you guys, which has probably helped me get cases, at least 2 or 3 of those big cases that I got, $1 million cases. I advertise my business to you guys, but I'm saying if I didn't advertise my business, I'd be coming on here talking about politics all the time. And for me coming on here talking about politics, y'all end up seeing me in Bali. And you don't know how I'm there. You think the live stream, you look at the live stream like 46 people in there. I know he ain't doing that off 46 people. He in Bali? Yeah, that's what them legal documents, that's where they going to take me. Year number 4. In year number 2, I had one case that was worth $1 million, and I got paid. I had a $12,000 contract off of it. Year number 4, I got 2 cases, one of them multi-million dollars. And I got a $40,000 and $60,000 contract on. So imagine year number 6. I doubled it. I got $2 million cases. 4 times the money on each case. 6 times the money on each case I'm asking for from the jump. 2 multi-million dollar cases. 2 of them. Year number 6, I want 4 of them. Year number 8, you get it? I want 6 of them. Year number 10, I want 10 multi-million dollar cases. I'm getting 4. And then the money just stacking as you go. I don't have to litigate no case for myself, pro se. All I need is 10 cases for customers or attorneys. And I'm writing a complaint. Attorney ain't going to want to give me attorney ain't giving me no $80,000 to do the complaint. The most, if you just as bad as I am, the most he gonna try to give you is about 5,000-10,000, because he feel like he'll just do a little raggedy complaint with one of the paralegals in the office, and he just gonna work it and still get his money. He ain't trying to pay me no $10,000-$20,000 to do a complaint. The only reason an attorney will pay you that much to do a complaint is if he got so much work he can't do it all, and he ain't gonna pay you that much. He gonna go to an independent document prepare who gonna charge him 5,000. Ghost charging 60,000. Yeah, that's how good that work is. That is valuable to a client who can't find the attorney, and then the attorney, he might get mad. But you look at a $3 million case, he getting 40% of that. So say they settle on 1.2 million. You see what I'm saying? He getting about $500,000 of that, 1.2 million. And I filed the case. I'm doing all the work. He could rewrite the lawsuit, but he gonna litigate off of what I wrote, because what I wrote is the way you win. When he read it, my lawsuit, he gonna know it's gonna win. As soon as he read either one of these lawsuits, the attorney, the clerks, the court, they all know it's gonna win. You see what I'm saying? They know it's gonna win. So the attorney come behind me, he getting 500,000. Yeah, I want 60,000 of your 500, bro. You gonna get $440,000 off this lawsuit. It's gonna take you 8 months to do it. I know the game. It's gonna take him 8 months to do this case. He finna make 500,000. Yeah, I want 60,000. I dropped it in the court for you. Cut your work in half. I want 60 racks. So that's my future. That's my business. That's my career. You see what I'm saying? Like when I was in Houston, it was a little girl, well, not a little girl. She about 26, 25 that I like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still building to who I'm going to be or what I'm going to be. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, I'm in this car. I'm not worried about no girls. I got some heavy lifting to do. Like he said, I got some cases to write. You don't understand. That's joy for me. I love writing cases. Sure, I'm in this car, but we're going to be at a waterfall within 30, 45 days. That's joy for me. You see what I'm saying? When I was in the war room in Houston, there wasn't no joy in that. It was all hard work and discipline. Now I'm in the war room. I'm in this car, and it's doing it the way I want to do it. Yeah, I'm not as comfortable in this car as you would be in the house, but it's joy for me in what I'm doing. I get to go see whatever I want to see whenever I want to see it. Beautiful, gorgeous landscapes. That's what I'm trying to do with my business. Brian C., what's up, baby? Thank you for that $2 donation. He says Marco Rubio Bryant is stuck, y'all, on Marco being running for president. Out of all the candidates that I see on the stage right now, whether on the Republican or the Democratic side, I think AOC probably would do more to help the people, but I think Marco probably would be this is just my opinion though, because I think Marco would be a great president. I really do. That's just my opinion. I think he's made great decisions as President Trump's Secretary of State. He's the only person that we really don't have too much to say about in President Trump's administration, as Marco. Some of the things JD said or did, you could disagree with that, but I'm saying, like, looking at it from JD's perspective, he's not the president. He's not able to enact policies. You see what I'm saying? Like JD being tough on certain nations or you know, you might disagree with that, but JD can't enact policy. You know what I'm saying? Like President Trump can. So, but JD is a president. He's not, as a vice president, he ain't got to be real active in decisions and statements and advice. I'm saying out of all the people, you know, we love Susan Wiles. I think Susan Wiles probably the only people who advise him on a daily basis who got common sense. Because I ain't hating on Stephen Miller. I just don't think he got much common sense. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying Marco, though, Marco a different story. Brian C. knows that. You know what I'm saying? I think all the Republicans know that. Marco's just a completely different story. So, guys, usually I'll wait till lunchtime before I start working on my legal documents. I think I'm going to eat lunch a little bit later today. But this the process, though, man. Like, whenever I was doing the business, like when we was on the road, make sure I got everything before I go up in here. Whenever I was doing the business and we was on the road, so I closed out 2 of the cases. You know what I'm saying? But on the road, I think I've done 6 cases. I closed out 2 of them. So whenever I was on the road doing those little small cases, I think I did the first case I did against a city, too, the city where I'm from in Tennessee. But when I was doing all those small cases on the road and everything like that, I'm saying, like, you know, I would just have the computer. I just open up the computer and get the popping. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was going in you know what I'm saying, an institution, law library, whatever, you know what I'm saying, doing documents. But I'm saying right now with these people's cases, the customers' cases that I'm working on, this is how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just I come do the live stream, spend those 3 hours with y'all, and then, you know what I'm saying, I'm filing the cases. Just like when I was in Houston, Brian C. remember this. Brian C. remember when I got paid. It's just I'm going to get paid twice as much as I did last time. So this time I'm probably going to buy a house and some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep traveling, keep building my business, man, focusing on God, man. So I'm in the live stream with that like I always do. I'm a born-again Christian. Christ is king. I say Christ, I'll tell Bibi Netanyahu to his face. Somebody said, Bibi, I'll tell Bibi Christ is king. You know what I'm saying? I tell Bibi Netanyahu to his face that Christ is king. Because a lot of people, a lot of Christians, they are so high on Israel, but you know, the Jews do not believe that Jesus Christ is the Savior. Christ is king, bro. I tell the Jews that just like I tell the Muslim, the Israel ain't no different as far as Jesus concerned. The people of Israel ain't no different than the people in the Muslims. If they don't believe that Jesus is the Savior, Jesus is the Savior. That's all we need to say as a Christian. I was washed in the blood of Jesus in August of 2018. That's why I went from being a criminal or doing crimes to filing lawsuits, enforcing the law. I did that with Jesus. He washed my sins away, man. I asked him to forgive me of my sins, and I believe he saved me. I told him I accepted his sacrifice on the cross as payment for my sins, man, and I believe he saved me. Faith. You know what I'm saying? And that changed my life. So if we want to go around helping people, that's what we need to tell everybody, that Christ is king, man. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ is king, bro. I believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I wake up every day and say that, like my homegirl who lost her mother, man. But like what I do is amelioration. You know what I'm saying? I tell her, baby girl, you still rejoice and you praise God, even in the death of your mother. You know what I'm saying? And what we going to do is we going to go to court. We going to get you a check for that. For the way that medical facility handled your mother in her last days of her life, we gonna get you a check for that, baby girl. That's what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I come in behind the situation and I get the situation straight. You know what I'm saying? However she was wronged or however somebody was wrong, I'm gonna come in behind in the situation and I'm a rectify or I'm gonna correct the situation. And that's what I do, man, with my business. That's what it's all about, man. It's about getting people justice, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me, Brian C? It's about getting people justice. Hey, ain't nobody be live streaming. Like, ain't nobody as real as me, man. They not going to do it like I do it. Nobody you going to meet is going to do it like I do it. Because I'm going to be all the way real and I'm going to be all the way authentic with it, bro. I'm a Christian and I believe in truth, man. Listen, some people say they're Christians, but they don't live out their Christianity. Not only do I live out my Christianity, people expect me to live out my Christianity. This soap ain't working. Not only do I live out my Christianity, people expect me to live out my Christianity, and I live up to those. I try to live up to those expectations as best as I can. You know what I'm saying? I try to live up to those expectations as best as I can, man. But yeah, man, I'm a Christian, man. I believe Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for my sins, bro. And that's what I live. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a legalist. I still made mistakes. But yeah, man, Legal Wars Live, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. You know what I'm saying, guys? I pray and hope, man, I think someday, one day, that some people on here, man, you'll have a situation where a lawyer wouldn't want to take the case or somebody gatekeeping, trying to keep you from getting millions of dollars, and you'll come to me and I get the case in the court. You know what I'm saying? There's a day that's coming that I'm not going to be in the bathroom in the library doing live streams, man. You know what I'm saying? Brian C., you stay with me, bro. You rock with me that whole time, man. You know what I'm saying? It'd be an incredible thing to see someone like me who believe in what I believe in, fight for what I'm fighting for. You know what I'm saying? To go to from where I'm at to get to where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? When I get where I'm going, you know, everybody want to give me love and respect when you up here. You know what I'm saying? But it's the ones who with you. It's the ones who help form and make you, you know what I'm saying, to help you get to that point that I'm going to be loyal to. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all know Ghost, bro. Somebody just liked the video. You know, you don't know what to, you know, it ain't nothing else you can expect from me but to keep it 1,000. I ain't remember one person who told me something that helped change my life. You know, I ain't forgetting it. And you know why I ain't forgetting you? Because I know the reason why, part of the reason why I done got to where I got to is because some of you done told me that done helped me in my life. So I'm going to keep it all regardless of where I end up because I know where I'm headed, bro. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't paying no attention to that. I got the skill level, the intelligence to create. I just had to stay focused. And the guy told me, he taught me about quitting stuff that I used to do. I used to do stuff like a Miller legal and be really good at it and building something, and I ended up and quit. I never in my life had a job for 4 years. And a Miller legal in July is going to be the 4th year I have this business. I have a disability. It affects me working at jobs. But this business was the answer to my prayers, y'all. I'm finna go in there. I'm going to finish getting on this work. I'm going to go get this work, man. I love y'all, man. We're going to be live in the morning, man. I see y'all at 7 a.m. Eastern time, man. Appreciate it, Brian C. Marco Rubio, man. I see y'all in the morning, man. I'm out.